Uh, there are certain ancillary areas which I had to cover according to the syllabus, where sometimes you get questions on these areas also. Uh, I thought of covering the entire ancillary areas today so that we will be having more time to do some UCP questions, URC questions, and two sums, as well as if you can do some what do you call this MCQ questions, at least about 20-30 MCQ questions, then you people are okay for the exam, right? Then I can keep you ready for the exam. So we will plan it out like that. Have I given you any MCQ questions earlier? No.
Yes.
Have I given any multiple choice questions to you earlier?
No, sir.
No. Right, fine. So I'll make a note. I have to give you MCQ questions. Then I'll have to give you 2 assignments, and I will give you 2 past papers. Then you know what sort of questions you are going to get, and you can get ready, right? Once I finish this area, if you have enough time, balance time, I'll do another 1 or 2 forex questions, right? Okay. Today we start with counter trade. Counter trade is also some sort of international trade operations, and very, very peculiar type one, right? Because is not getting involved. Money is not getting involved, but we do international trade operations, right? What is counter trade? Counter trade means exchanging goods or services which are paid for in whole or part with other goods or services rather than with money. It's like a barter system. Barter system is also one of the main areas in counter trade. Barter is only one area, but everybody knows what is barter system. Exchanging of goods and services, right? And no money is getting involved. The common characteristics of counter trade arrangement is that export sales to a particular market are made conditional upon undertaking to accept imports from that market. Because what is happening is most of the exporters, normally this counter trade happens not in countries like us, where their currency is not convertible. In those countries only this counter trade happens. Mainly, other countries are also happening, but mainly happening in countries where their local currency is not convertible. They want to exist. They want to live. So they import and export things on counter trade. Right? It's a like exchange of goods. The reason for counter trade are, or if I ask you a question, you might get a question like this: why do countries wish to do counter trade? Why do countries wish to do counter trade? So I might ask you a question: what is counter trade, and why do countries wish to do counter trade? Right? if you get a question like that, then the answer should be the reasons for counter trade are some countries lack commercial credit or convertible foreign currency to pay for imports. Now, in Sri Lanka, all know all our imports we have to pay in dollars. We convert our currency into dollars. It's true that we are having a scarcity at the moment, but we are not that bad to go to this counter trade business at all. Right? But countries, some Latin American countries, their currencies are not convertible. Right? So therefore, counter trade is needed to finance imports. Some developing countries use counter trade to of counter trade arrangements. Meanwhile, what is happening is, okay, so we'll take for an example, underdeveloped country in African country, Central Africa, right? Underdeveloped countries. Now, they want certain goods. And some of the developing countries, what they do is they will dump all their excess manufacturing industries, or if they are developing manufacturing industries, they dump their goods to those countries so that in that particular countries, export will be more. And they import items from those countries and sell it to the local market, or they will re-export. Anything they can do, right? Now, for example, if you say most of the Central African countries they are doing mining. Patal Karmante, mining industry. Patal Karmante. Yedina katti. A Patal Karmante is they need what do you call these tools? They need machinery to use it in the mining industry. So what they will do, they will import machinery, tools, some other raw materials, everything from developed countries. Right? Developed countries. Developed countries අයින් වෙච්ච ඒවා ටික හරි කමන්නේ මේගොල්ලෝ පටවලා discarded දේව හරි පටවලා යවනවා. Right? And now how they are going to get the money back? They can't get money because their currency is not convertible. So what they will do, those countries are either they do mining, they extract copper, gold, diamond, zinc, titanium, again precious metals they produce. Right? They do through mining, they produce. At least the raw one they are having. So what the developing countries would do is exchange their machinery to those raw materials. Those raw materials are very, very expensive. For those African countries, not much. They don't know the value of it. Titanium වගේම diamond වගේම හොඳටම ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නවනේ කොච්චර ගණන්ද කියලා. Right? ඉතින් මේකේදී මේගොල්ලෝ exchange කරලා ගන්නවා. Right? Sometimes these developing countries, they get more than twice the value of the machinery they exported. $10,000 machinery, they price it for $15,000 or $18,000, and they say it, right? It is like that. Some countries use counter trade as an instrument of their political and economic policies. What do you mean by that? Because some countries, especially the European countries, France, Norway, වගේ countries ජරාම countries තමයි තියෙන්නේ. But they use this counter trade as an instrument of their political and economic policies. Right? The political and economic policies can what they, or they will get those precious metal from those African countries, and in return, what they will do is they will supply them arms and ammunitions, aircraft, helicopters, which those people can use it for war. Then they allow those people to fight with the neighboring countries. I think you can remember a few years back, we had a lot of uncertainty prevailing in Central African countries. Eritrea against Uganda, then against some other country, Eritrea, some other country like Ethiopia, right? Then පුඩි countries වටේටම තියෙන bordering countries එක්ක මේගොල්ලෝ fight කරනවා. border fights පටන් ගන්නවා. ඒකට ඕන කරන අවියායුධ, helicopters, multi barrels, those European countries are supply, and they are getting titanium, zinc and all those things in return for supplying those warships. They'll get those things to build planes, rockets, ඒ වගේ ඒවට ඔයගේ precious metal ඕනනේ. ඒවා එහෙන් ගන්නවා. ඉතින් අතන දැන් අවුල් කරලා තියෙන්නේ. අවුල් කරලා තිබ්බහම ඒගොල්ලොම you can and try to expand your territory. මේ මොඩේ යන අද තියෙනවා. මුනිසම් තියෙනවා, machine guns තියෙනවා, helicopters කරගෙන අපි අරමිසුක සූරානවා. ඔන්නෝක තමයි මේ counter trade එකේ වෙන්නේ. In a buyer's market, to obtain more trade or to obtain new technology from another country, right? It's very interesting, and sometimes you feel sorry for these countries who are involved in this counter trade. But some counter trade are okay. Some counter trade are okay. When we are discussing, you can understand. Okay. We'll try to understand counter trade with a small example. It's easy for you to understand. The problem is UK exporter sells capital goods to a less developed country. Less developed country, LDC country, less developed country in South Africa or in Africa, right? Capital goods කියන්නේ මේ goods requiring for mining industry. Then payment in the currency of LDC due to LDC government restrictions on exchange control that prevents the UK exporter from converting the LDC currency into sterling. UK exporter can't convert the LDC currency into sterling. But UK exporter wants sterling. එයාට LDC currency කරන් වැඩක් නැහැ. මේ ලෝකෙ පාවිච්චි කරන්න නැති වැඩක් වටිනාකමක් නැති currency එකකින් වැඩක් නැහැ. අපිට ඕනේ sterling pounds. Right? So the possible solution is exporter uses LDC currency to buy sugar from an LDC producer. Now the guy who purchased the thing, now the guy who purchased the material or the capital goods from the UK exporter, he will settle the money in LDC currency. LDC currency. So the UK exporter will tell that guy, okay, you use this LDC currency and buy sugar because they manufacture sugar. You buy sugar from me and then export it to London. Export it to London. So instead of getting sterling pounds, now he is getting sugar. But that guy, the UK exporter, is not dealing with sugar. He is a manufacturer, machinery manufacturer. But he is importing sugar. So what he will do is, when he imports the sugar, immediately he will sell it to one of the sugar importers. Sugar wholesale dealers. Yeah, it get agala ship එකම විකුණලා දානවා. Right? විකුණුවම යාට හම්බෙන්නේ මොකද්ද කරන්සි එක? දැන් යාට හම්බෙන්නේ මොන කරන්සි එකද?
Sterling.
sugar ටික UK වල sterling pounds හම්බෙන්නේ. යාට හම්බෙන්නේ sterling pounds. දැන් sterling pounds යාට හම්බෙන්නේ. දැන් අර දුන්නටත් වැඩියෙන් sugar ගේනවා මාර ලොට් එකක්. containers ගානක් ගේනවා. ගෙනල්ලා double the price වලට අපි profit එකක් ගන්නවා. right? ඔන්න ඔය විදිහට තමයි ඔය counter trade එකක් අපිට කොහොමද වෙන්නේ කියන එක ඔළුවට ගන්න වෙන්නේ. right? There are 6 types of counter trade. There are 6 types of counter trade. One is offset. One is offset. But only thing is, when we are discussing these things, you might think, my God, all are similar now. True. So all are similar. All are similar to each other, but there are only few changes. So you will try to understand those changes, but there are few. Very few changes, right? The first one is offset. Normally, offset is traditionally in use by governments around the world when they have made major purchases of military goods or high technology goods, but is becoming increasingly common in other sectors also. Right? When the governments want to buy military goods or high technology goods, right? They use this offset. They offset with some other goods. They offset with some other goods. Completely different goods, type of goods. Arms and ammunition and warships and helicopters and everything, right? Maybe against sugar, maybe against steel, maybe against some other precious metal. Right? So that is one, offset. Second one is counter purchase. Counter purchase is a foreign supplier undertakes to purchase goods and services from the purchasing country. That is the importer purchasing country, as a condition of securing the order. The foreign supplier undertakes to purchase goods or services from the purchasing country, from the importer, as a condition of securing the order. Among example, UK military goods against or capital goods against sugar. Counter purchase is generally imposed for two reasons. Counter purchase, right? First, stimulate exports, and second, alleviate the balance of payment deficit starting from imported goods. මේක ඇත්තටම ලංකාවගේ රටවල දැන් මේක මම ඔයගොල්ලන්ට කියනකොට මට හිතෙනවා දැන් අපි මේ හිරේලා ඉන්න වෙලාවේ balance of payment trade balance deficit එක එන්නේ වැඩි වෙලා ඔලුව උස්ස ගන්න බැරුව ඉන්නකොට මොකද අපිට ගෙවන්න වෙනවනේ. මේක අපිට කරන්න බැරිද? ඒත් අපි දෙන්නේ මොනවද? නේද? අපි මොනවද දෙන්නේ? අපි මොනවද එක්ස්පෝර්ට් කරන්න තියෙන්නේ? ටී තමයි තියෙන්නේ. right? එතන අපේ ඉම්පෝර්ට්ස් වලට මේ අපි සල්ලි ගෙවන්නේ නැහැ. සල්ලි ගෙවන්නේ නැතුව මේක බඩු වලින් සෙටල් කරනවා. Then that will the first thing is to stimulate the exports. All our exports will try to sell it. And the second one is alleviate the balance of payment deficit. The balance of payment deficit වැඩි ඉන්න මේ payments යන හින්දානේ. payment යන්නේ නැතුව අපි goods වලින් settle කරනවා නම් ඒක වෙන්නේ නැහැ. right? The counter purchase කියන්නේ අන්න ඒක. tolling. Third one is tolling. In a tolling deal, supplier himself provides the raw materials, for example, steel ingots, and hires capacity of factory to turn into finished goods. For example, steel tubes. These are then bought by a final. These are then bought by a final customer who pays the supplier in cash. Throughout the process, the supplier retains ownership of the material as it is processed by the factory. Make it an example like මොකද දෙන්නේ. tolling deal එකක් අපේ ටිකක් කාලයකට ගියා. ඊට පස්සේ දැන් නැහැ. ඉංග්‍රීසියේ tolling deal එකක් ගියා. right. මේක මේ ස්විච් ඔෆ් කරගන්න. මියුට් කරගන්න. hello. Right, thank you. Can you remember few years back, I'm 100% sure, I don't know, any of you have been born by that time. 1971 වල වගේ තමයි මේක උනේ. When Mrs. Bandaranaike was in power, she was very good with Russia, very good relationship. So the Russian government said, "You're the first prime minister in the world." And it was a very, you're a brave lady, you're the first prime minister of the world. And we want to appreciate your effort. So that they gave us a steel factory. They gave us a steel factory to make steel tubes or iron from the steel ingots. Steel ingots can already කණු වගේ යකඩ කණු ටින්ගෙනල්ල තමයි අපි උණු කරලා අර වගේ හිමි කම්බි කාලේ කම්බි කේක කම්බි අයිස් හදාගන්නේ එහෙම උණු කරලා. ඉතින් එතෙන්දි කලේ the Russian guys, they donated the factory and they gave us the steel ingots also. And then the end product also they bought the end product. Because for them it was cheaper than producing the goods in those countries, right, in European countries, and good for the economy of Sri Lanka. A lot of people got the employment opportunity and everything, right? So that was Tolly supplying the raw material and then selling the finished goods to the supplier, right? The other system, barter system. Barter system is one of the most common method of counter trade. Now, if you talk about the history of money, currencies, right? The olden days in China and all, this barter system was very, very effective. Barter system was very, very effective, right? And what they did was they exchanged goods for goods. They deal goods for the exchange of other goods, right? The principal export is paid for with goods or services. Maybe the goods, maybe services from the importing market. Yes, right. A single contract covers both flows in the simple case. No cash is involved. Do you know this barter system? Sometimes I know, personally I know, there are groups in Sri Lanka also, private groups. They do business through this barter system. I'll give you one example, which I know very well. One of my circle of friends, all are good friends, all are very good friends. One guy is a very reputed and a very, very efficient motor mechanic guy. The Mangunath car එක හදාගන්න දෙන්නේ මේ මගේ යාළුවා ගාවට. බාසුන් නෑ කෙනෙක් බ. That's his profession, but he's not a normal boss. එන ලොකු තට්ටු තුනේගේ එක එනට අපිට වැඩි හොඳට ලොකුට ඉන්න එකන මේක මෙයාගේ ප්‍රොෆෙෂන් එක. එයාගේම ගරාජ් එකේ යා තනියෙන් කරන්නේ. ලොකු ගරාජ් එකක් ඔක්කොම සේරම gadgets දාගෙන ඒක. And his clientele, because of him, he's one of my very good friends. Because of that friendship, I got to know about his other friends. I met one guy, a well-known wedding photographer in Colombo. Well-known wedding photographer. Normally he charged about 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs to cover a wedding. Etc. Another lady who is a director of one of the multinational company in Colombo, right? And even Ramada Hotel, Cinnamon Lake Hotel, එකෙත් direct කෙනෙක්. මේ ඔක්කොම අපි ඔය කට්ටිය යාළුවෝ. තව කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා lawyer කෙනෙක් හිටියා. ඒ ඔක්කොම හරියගේ clientsලා. garage එකේ ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ vehicles හදන්න එන clientsලා. මේගොල්ලෝ set එක මේ කරලා මේගොල්ලෝ barter system එකට කරන්නේ. right? දැන් අර අපි තුමු ෆොටෝග්‍රාෆර්ගේ කායක හැදුවේ කියලා හදලා 20,000 බිල් එක අර සල්ලි ගන්නෙ නෑ. ඒගොල්ලෝ දාලා තියෙනවා. ඒගොල්ලෝ මාක් කරලා ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ බුක් එන්ට්‍රීස් දාගෙන තියන් ඉන්නවා. මෙච්චරයි මෙයාට තියෙන මෙච්චරයි. ඔය වගේ ගිහිල්ලා that my friends, one of his sons got married. දෙන්නෙටම කවර් කළේ weddings කවර් කළේ අර ෆොටෝග්‍රාෆර්. අර ෆොටෝග්‍රාෆර් තමයි ඔක්කොම කළේ. තව එක්කෙනෙක් තව දෙයක් කළා. ඒ ඔක්කොම payments යන්නේ අර barter system එකට මෙයාට, because those people owe some money to him, so he settled it. They do the service of taking the cover in the wedding and do the necessary things. Mega another albums හදලා ඔක්කොම කරලා දෙනවා. ඉතින් ලක්ෂ 3-4ක බිස්නස් එක යනවා. දැන් සමහරට මෙයාට තම මදිත් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒවා ආයිසරක් අර ඊගාව පාර වාහනේ කැඩුනහම ඒව කරලා දීලා ඒක කව වෙනවා. මොන වැඩේ? කියන්නේ ණය නෑ. අර ලස්සන්ට ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ ඒ සෙට් එකේ වැඩ යනවා මුරුවකට. ඒකත් අත්‍යව බලනකොට barter system එකක්. මම ඒක ඇනලයිස් කළේ ඒ විදිහට. Exactly the barter system, right? Then number 5 is compensation or buyback deals. Compensation or buyback deals. Buyback is a form of a barter. ඒක මම කිව්වේ මේකට කිට්ටුවෙන් යන්නේ. Buyback is a form of a barter that is favored by some Eastern European countries, the Russian bloc countries. Suppliers of capital goods agreed to be paid by the future output of the factory. They are supplied. So, for example, ICI කියන්නේ International Chemical Industries. Paints හදන්නේ. CIC paint අර මේ ඔක්කොම එන්නේ ICI තමයි parent company එක. ICI. Right? So ICI could sell a chemical processing plant. ICI could sell a chemical plant to one of the countries and then take part of the plant's future output of chemicals as and supply. So it's good for them. But country has to pay them back for the chemicals, right? Chemicals මේ processing plant එකක් හදලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒ plant එකට බිලියන් ගණන් ගන්නවා. ඒව ගන්න මොකද? Not from money, from the output of chemicals as payment, right? ඉතින් අර එක අතකින් හරි lazy, right? A compensation of buyback deals. Switch or swap trading. Switch or swap trading is not very much popular, but this is also happening. See, imbalances in long-term bilateral trading agreement sometimes lead to the accumulation of accumulated credit surpluses in one or other countries. So because of these bilateral trade agreements, Sri Lanka sells rubber to China. Sri Lanka sells rubber to China. China will send us rice. We have a bilateral agreement, right? So what we supply them more rubber, and rather than settle the whole thing against the rice, right? We supply more and more rubber to them. So in China, we have a they are holding a excess balance of Sri Lanka. Excess balance of Sri Lanka, which they have to pay. ඒගොල්ලෝ ගෙවන්නේ අර මේ වලින් ගෙවන්නේ. ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ සැරෙන් සැරේ ඒගොල්ලෝ එවනවා අපිට හාල්. ඒ හාල් එක ආවම අපි අරගෙන set off වෙන්න තියෙනවා. ඔය අතරේ we purchase some other item from India. We purchase some other items from India under bilateral agreement. And now we have to pay India for that. Now we have to pay India for that. So, but we don't have foreign currency at the moment. So what we will do is, instead of paying the money to India, we request China to settle what they are holding on behalf of us with that money to settle the bills in India. Right? And ඕකට තමයි කියන්නේ switch or swap trading කියලා. Any questions? Any questions? Counter trade. Counter trade වල ගොඩාක් වෙලාට ඔයගන්ට එන්නේ questions එනවා නම් එන්නේ what is counter trade and how it is happening. Then තව එකක් මම ගොඩාක් මේ explain කරන්න දෙන්නේ නැහැ. නමුත් ඔයගන්ට question එකක් එන්න පුළුවන්. What are the 6 types of commercial counter trade? නන්ටික ලියන්න විතරයි තියෙන 1 2 3 4 5 6. Right? ඔය ටික තමයි ගොඩක් වෙලාට එන්නේ. Okay. Additional risk faced by the exporters in counter trade. The cost of counter trade might exceed the exporters' expectations. Right? The exporter might be pushed into agreeing to accept large quantities of unmarketable goods. Unmarketable goods. The importer's country might place an unrealistically high value on the goods they wish to counter trade. මේගොල්ලෝ කරන්නේ import country අර counter trade කරන goods වලට unrealistic high value එකක් දානවා. right? ඒ විදිහට මේවා අතර මේ ඒ වගේ value දාලා කරන්නේ බලු වැඩනේ. අන්න ඒ වගේ දෙයක් තමයි කරන්නේ. Since several parties are likely to be involved in a counter trade arrangement, it will increase the risk of cancellation of an export order due to one party following its contractual obligations. The last one, can you understand? Since several parties are likely to be involved in a counter trade arrangement, it will increase the risk of cancellation. The risk of cancellation of an export order due to one party following its contractual obligations. Any moment, because there are so many parties, not only buyer and the seller, there are intermediary parties. Right? So if one guy cancels his contractual obligations with the other party, then entire thing will fall into pieces. Right? So these things can happen. That's a risk. Okay? Any questions on that? Counter trade. Any questions? If not, I will move on to the other topic. Entrepot trade. Entrepot. Entrepot nemeya. Entrepot trade. Entrepot trade is a very, very important thing to countries like Sri Lanka, especially these days when we are having a shortage of foreign exchange in our country. I don't know why the government is not paying much attention to this entrepreneur trade operations in Sri Lanka. Where we can earn, where we can uh, earn a lot of foreign exchange, much needed foreign exchange for our country. Right? I have not seen. I thought with the Hambantota harbor that they will go all out because our country's uh, geographical location and ours is an island geographical location. Everything very strong points of have a very good entrepreneur trade market. But our people are still exploring this. By now, we are earn much more money. Right? In certain countries like Singapore, then Hong Kong, UK, they are having very good entrepreneur trade market, right? Entrepreneur trade business. But unfortunately, we can give a very good fight for those people, but still we are not much geared to that. Right? Entrepreneur trade is a trading transactions where a middleman in one country buys good from a seller in a second country and sell them to a buyer in third country at a profit and with minimum value addition. Right? With minimum value addition uh, and without changing the character of the goods or even without any value addition. Right? One moment. Right? See the financial year December to December. Get non era più presidente Cuba, era Cuba, Tesoro Cuba, e non
They can't hear.
classic now. एक हिंदी का करना है okay. Sorry, I got a urgent call. How the Q&A can't hear again. I haven't net on my net. Right. So, මම මේ විදිහට ගත්තොත් මේක ඕගන්න මම තේරුම් කරන්න මම කල්පනා කළේ. Example. Okay. This is a case study, right? Listen to this very carefully and see how entrepreneur trade can support our international trade. There is a guy we assume there is a guy in Sri Lanka who is a soft toy manufacturer. Soft toy manufacturer. Soft toys, Sri Lanka soft toys manufacturer. And that guy is doing well in Sri Lanka. And now he got a export order to export soft toys to Germany. Soft toys are very expensive in those countries, right? ඒ ජර්මනි වලට දාන්න ආවා. ඒකම අපිතුම මේ soft toys ආවා කියලා දැන් අර බාබි ඩෝල්ස් වගේ. right? මේ දූලා දන්නව නේද බාබි ඩෝල්ස් පොඩි කාලේ සෙල්ලම් කරන්න ගන්න. දැන් ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ ළමයි සෙල්ලම් කරනවා බාබි ඩෝල්ස්. දැන් තියෙනවද දැන්? ඇති කියලා හිතන්න. අපේ දූලාගේ පොඩි කාලේ නම් තිබුණා. Barbie dolls are very famous, right? So, මාරකයයි ඒවා කියාගෙන අපි ළමයි ටික තමයි ඒ බාබි ඩෝල්ස් එකත් එක්ක තමයි ජීවත් වෙන්නේ. ලෝකෙ පුරාමත් ඕකයි. ලෝකෙ පුරාමත් ඕන රටකට ගියත් බාබි ඩෝල්ස් ඉන්නවා. Now, this guy manufactures Barbie dolls, but not in a export volume. But now he is having a good confirmed order. Meanwhile, he went to China to participate in Beijing trade fair. Beijing trade fair. So when he went to Beijing trade fair, when he was visiting the stalls and going around the trade fair, he saw some manufacturers in China who are manufacturing Barbie dolls. Right? So he made certain contacts with them. He said, can't you export a container load of Barbie dolls to Sri Lanka? They said, okay. How they want it? He said, send me the Barbie dolls in a container load. No need to put them into boxes and label them and give them the names and everything, but equal share of all the so-called Barbie dolls. ඔක්කොම නම් වලින් මාරිගෙන්, මේරිගෙන්, ඇන්ගෙන්, බ්‍රිට්නිගෙන් ඔය ඔක්කොගෙම හැම ජාතියෙම එකම ෂෙයාර් එකට වන්නේ කියලා. So they will send the Barbie dolls in a container load to Sri Lanka. Now this guy, what he will do, okay, the ship will come to Hambantota port. Then he will unload the shipment and keep it in a bonded warehouse in Hambantota port. Under entrepot trade, in a bonded warehouse. That means the custom bonded warehouse, he doesn't have to pay import duty or anything, but he can't take the goods into the country. A bonded warehouse premises and for him, he got the bonded warehouses free of charge for 21 days. The Sri Lanka government is giving them 21 days free of charge bonded warehouse facility. Right? And there he employed few girls. He gave job to few girls, about 20-25 girls. Api parent මේකතා සිලෝපෙන් කව එක සිලෝපෙන් වලින් කවර් කරලා අරක ලස්සනට නංගහලා right final touch එක අපි දෙන්නේ ලංකාවේ කළා එහෙමම පැටවු ජර්මනි වලට. Now you understand the operation, how the entrepot trade is happening, right? Now here what we will do is, there is a cost for the original Barbie dolls from China. Then we add certain value addition. A value addition add karla. ඊට පස්සේ we are selling it to the final buyer. Right? Keeping a good profit. Now, for example, when we are importing from China, the container load will pay $2 a Barbie doll. $2 a Barbie doll. That's cheap. Ape මේ හදනට වඩා ගොඩක්ම cheap, right? $2 a Barbie doll අපි ගෙන්න ගන්නවා. ගෙන්නගෙන we pack it, and then when we are re-exporting, then we price it for $8. Then we price it for $8. දැන් $8 වලට price කළා තමයි අපි දැන් ඒක යවන්නේ. එහෙම නැත්නම් $6 වලට price කළා තමයි යවන්නේ. අර මෙහෙදී තව value addition වලට ගියා, තවත් $2 විතර ගියා. Value addition වලට. The $2 plus $2, $4, but this guy is having a clean profit of another $4 if you sell it for $8 ගන්න අපි දුන්නා නම්. Right? It's a very good opportunity to our traders to earn foreign exchange money. Right? So in simple terms, entrepot trade involves importing goods from one country for the purpose of re-exporting to another. Right? ඔය ටික මොනවාද question එකක් තියෙනවද ඔයගලන්ට අහන්න? When a buyer from another country makes inquiries on certain goods, the middleman will check the availability of those goods with his suppliers in other countries and their prices. Based on the price and other costs involved in middleman the middleman quote a price to the buyer. Germany in the buyer price at the okay? If they agree, he enters into a purchase contract with the supplier, that's from China, and a sales contract with the buyer in Germany. Right? The difference in price minus all cost. Difference in price minus all cost equals to middleman's profit. දාලා බලන්න price amount එකක් දාලා මේ ගාන formula එක හදලා බලන්න. මම විනාඩියක් දෙන්න. Suppliers ship the goods as instructed and submit documents through banking channels to middlemen. Now, this is how it is happening. Right? Now we'll see further details. The middleman arranged with his bank to substitute bill of exchange and the commercial invoice received from the supplier with its own documents for the higher value and present them to the buyer. Or sometimes middleman will supply exactly, completely different, a new set of documents, right? Then final buyer will pay and obtain documents to clear the goods. Final buyer will pay and obtain the documents to clear the goods. From the proceeds received, the amount due to the supplier is paid and difference is paid to the middleman. The exact operation will depend on the method of payment used for the settlement of two contracts. This is important. Now, the exact operation will depend on the method of payment used for the settlement of two contracts. How we are going to settle these two contracts? That's the most important thing, right? Now, for example, when we are importing from China, when we are importing from China, what is the best payment methods you can use without you getting into trouble and without you going to your bank asking for facilities to settle the Chinese guy? What should be the best payment methods when you are importing the raw materials or the partly finished goods from China? How many payment methods we know? කියන්න අපි දන්න payment methods.
Open account,
Open account,
advance payment,
advance payment, very good.
document credit,
Yes, very good,
document collection,
very good. තව document correction අපි කඩමු තව දෙයකට.
document against acceptance, document against payment.
Super, super, excellent, excellent. Then walking from China to Colombo, මොකක්ද හොඳම payment methods? Do we have money in our hand?
Document against acceptance.
Either he has to go to the bank and ask for loan. Loan දැන් ගත්තොත් එimhe interest ගෙවන්න වෙනවා. එහෙනම් මොනවාද interest ගෙවන්න නැතුව loan එකක් ගෙවන්න නැතුව අතේ තියෙන සල්ලි වලින් රෝල දාන්න මොකද්ද හොඳම method එක? Methods.
Documents against acceptance.
Very good. Very good. කියන්න ඒ වගේ නම බොහොම හොඳට ඒක ඔළුවට ගත්තා. මොකද නම? ලැජ්ජයිද? උත්තරේ හරි. right? එහෙම කිව්වම එන්නේ නැද්ද? හරි. වෙන මොනවද ඉන්නේ? Is that the only thing? What other? I'm asking from you because we're not trying to give the answer that will get registered in your head. එච්චර තියෙන්නේ. DA විතරද අපි කරන්නේ? ළමයි Hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank God, මම quit වෙන්න බැලුවේ. ඉතින් කවුරුකත් කතා කරන්නේ. So what are other methods? One is DA. Collection DA. Right. Anything else? අපිට මොකද්ද කරන්න ඕනේ මෙතෙන්දී? පේමන්ට් එක ටක් ගාලා ගෙවන්නද පුළුවන් තරම් ඩිලේ කර අදින්න දෝනේ.
Delay කරන්න.
ඩිලේ කරන්න ඕනේ. ඩිලේ කරන්න ඕන නම් මොනවද තියෙන්නේ? DA එක හරි. තව
Open account.
Open account. Very good. Open account. But if that guy, the Chinese guy tells us, no, I want to do the transaction through an LC. You know, when LC got that in
User sensitive.
Yes, use LC. Use LC. So in that one, then users LC is one. Collection DA is one, and open account is another good one. ඔයගන්ට මෙන්න මේක ලියා ගන්න අඳින්න බන්න ඔයගලගේ නෝට් පොතේ දැන් මට මේකක් නෑ නඳින්න ඒකෙන්ද මම කල්පනා කරේ හිටියේ. ඔයගලගේ නෝට් බුක් එකේ ලියන්න left hand side corner you say China. Right? Then draw arrow එකක් ගහන්න පල්ලෙහාට අර මේ පොඩ ඇතුළට වෙන්න තියෙන arrow එකක් ගහන්න. ඒ කියන්නේ බඩු එනවා. arrow එකේ ඊතලේ යන්න ඕනේ පල්ලෙහාට. පල්ලෙහාට ලියන්න middleman. එතෙන් ලියන්න middleman. right? අර ඊතලේ දිගට ලියන්න ඊතලේ ඉස්සරහින් දිගට ලියන්න the payment methods should be open account, මොකද කියන්නේ ඊතලේ පල්ලෙහාට දාන්න මැද හරියෙන් ලියන්න payment methods ටික DA use and sell C open account. Right? Then draw another arrow from the middleman to upward. Upward. අනිත් පැත්තට. දකුණු අත පැත්තට. දකුණු අත පැත්තට තව ඉතලක් අරින්න උඩට. ඇරලා උඩ කෙරවල ලියන්න buyer in Germany. Buyer in Germany. වම් පැත්තේ උඩ ඉන්න එක China. Buyer in Germany. The final buyer in Germany. Final buyer in Germany. ඒක payments වෙන්න ඕන කොහොමද? දැන් අර ඉතලේ මම හරියම ලියන්න payment methods ටික. ඒකට ආදියන්. ඒ පැත්තට. ඒ කියන්නේ re-export එකට. හරියන මේ payment methods මොනවාද?
Advance payment.
Advance payment.
Document case.
DP,
very good. තව site LC. DP site LC. දැන් තේරෙනව නේද? first එක අපිට ඕනේ පුළුවන් තරම් delay කරන්න. Then we can pay the money, and the second one we want to get the money as early as possible. Then we can settle the import with the proceeds of the export. We can settle the import from the proceeds of the export. ඒක තමයි හොඳම system එක. right? මේක හොඳම system එක. දැන් එතන ඔයගොල්ලන්ට තේරෙනවා. right? දැන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ දාන්න බලන්න ඔකට values ටික China වලින් per unit US dollars 10. China එක ගාවින් ලියන්න per unit US dollars 10. Then the middleman add කරන්න what do you call this overheads $3. right? We got Germany වල final buyer එයාට දාන්න අපි දානවා $25. right? Now you can write the profit. Therefore, the profit of the middleman, the profit of the middleman will be $10 plus 2 the amount.
3.
10 plus 3, right? Then 13. අපි අරක 20 අරක 25 වැඩි 25 දාන්නද 20 දාන්නකො 20 දැම්මොත් what's his profit?
$8 per unit.
What's his profit? අර 2 දැම්මේ අර salaries wages $7 per unit. $7 per unit. He can get that $7 per unit profit within 21 days. He can get it. This 21 days is a critical time period. When we are talking more and more, we will understand that a critical time period. Okay.
Excuse me.
The more clarification on entrepreneur trade. Yeah.
Hello.
Tell me. Hello.
Yes, can't we consider this transferable
Yeah,
credits
yeah,
and back-to-back credits? For the transaction, can't we consider transferable credits and back-to-back credits?
No. Why should we do, right? මේකයිල ඊට සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම වෙනස් system එකට යන්නේ. Transferable credit and back to back, we are not adding any value. We are not adding any value. Here we are adding a value. දැන් බලන්න මේ transferable credit එකේ හොඳ question එකක් ඒක. මේ transferable credit එකේදී second beneficiary will manufacture the goods and he will ship the goods. He will ship the goods. Right? Now here, this guy will do the manufacturing. He is not transferring to anybody. He is not transferring to anybody this thing. Right? එහෙම වුණොත් එයාට එන profit එක අඩු වෙනවා. එයාට එන profit එක අඩු වෙනවා. What he can do is he can open what you are trying to tell me is when he got the thing, he can open another transferable LC to this guy in China and ask them to ship the goods. Then that guy will get the goods from China. That guy will get the goods from China. Right? හැබැයි ඒක නෙමෙයි purpose එකෙන් මෙයාට ආපු deal එකනේ. He wants to get it from Colombo නේ. එහෙම නැත්නම් අර මිනිහට පුළුවන් නේ ජර්මන් කාරයට ගෙලින්ම චයිනත් එක ඩීල් එක දාගත්තා නම් වැඩිපුර ගාන ගෙවන්න ඕනෙත් නැහැ. right? මෙතන අපේ අරගෙන අපේ මෙතන තව අපි employment එකකුත් දීලා foreign exchange earn කරලා profit එකකුත් අපි හොයාගන්නවා. ඒකයි වෙන්නේ. back to back නම් කොහොමද නෑ transferable එකට කරන්න පුළුවන් කරන්න බැරි කමක් නෑ. but ඒකට මේකට හරියන්නේ නෑ. Now when you talk about this entrepreneur trade, how it is happening, the FOB value of re-export should be more than CIF value of imports. It's very important. FOB value of the re-export should be more than the CIF value of imports. Now that $10 of the import should be CIF $10. CIF $10. Right? And when we are exporting, the FOB value should be definitely more than $10 when dollar. Definitely more than $10 when dollar. ඒක තමයි මේගොල්ලෝ කියන්නේ. අපි ඒක obviously දන්නවා. කියන්නේ දැන් නෙමෙයි නැත්නම් අපි පාඩුවට business එක යන්නේ. Right? Re-export is not permitted under DA terms. අපි re-export එකේ අපි DA terms දෙන්නේ නැහැ. අපි දැම්මේ DP terms කියලා. So re-export is not permitted under DA. There's a central bank circular on this /04/14 2013 2013 2013, right? Okay. The entrepot trader should declare the actual country of origin in the customs documents. The custom documents are the actual country of origin. That is Chinese origin. Importation of narcotics and arms and ammunition are strictly prohibited. Under this program, the importation of narcotics and arms and ammunition is prohibited. Make a narcotics support trade කරන්න අපේ මිනිස්සු හම්බන්තොට හාබර් එකට ගෙනෙයි මේ බල්ක් කුඩු ගෙනෙයි හෂේස් අර ඒ වගේ මොනවද කුඩු જાති බල්ක් ගෙනල්ලා මේ 500 grams පැකට් වලට හදයි 500 grams පැකට් කරලා එළිම විකුණයි නේද? එහෙම කරන්න පුළුවන් නේ. ඒකත් entrepreneur trade කියලා ගත්ත එකයි value addition, right? But it is completely strictly prohibited. Under the commercial hub regulations, Sri Lanka has declared 2 seaports in Colombo and Hambantota as free ports, right? The export processing zone in Katunayaka by the main international airport and export processing zone in Koggala by the Mattala airport are the designated bonded warehouses. Now, in Colombo, there is a bonded warehouse in Colombo port. කොහෙද තියෙන්නේ? උඩ දැකලා තියෙනවද? ඔයගොල්ලෝ දැකලා තියෙනවා. නමුත් ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නේ නැහැ මේක bonded warehouse කියලා.
උරුගොඩවත්ත
නෑ පුතා. මට ඔයගොල්ලෝ කොහෙද වැඩ කරන බ්‍රාන්ච් එක හරි බැංක් එක හරි කියන්නේ? අතන මං කියන්න. ෆෝට් වල පෙටා ෆෝට් People's Bank head office ඒ පැත්තේ වැඩ කරන ළමයි ඉන්නවද? මම ප්ලේස් එක කියන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ අනිත් දවස් බලන්න. තොරි ඉන්නවද? තොරි ඉන්නවද? ඔයගොල්ලෝ People's Bank ළමයි ගොඩක් ඇදනේ People's Bank training center එක. People's Bank training center එක දන්නවද? ඒක දන්නෙත් නැද්ද? People's Bank එකේ ළමයි නැද්ද කවුරුක? ළමයෙක්වත් නැහැ නේ. මම ඉන්න කාලේකේ ගහන්න කවදාවත් දෙන්න බෑ. People's Bank එක්කෙනෙක්ව නැතුව. ඔයගොල්ලෝ කතා කරන්නේ නැහැ. මම මේ උදව් කරන්න හදන්නේ. අයිඩියා එකක් ගන්න. කලින්ක මේ ඔයාගේ ක්ලාස් එකේ නැද්ද එක්කෙනෙක්වත් People's Bank එකේ ළමයි? ඉන්නවනේ. එක ළමෙක්වත් නැහැ වගේ වල මේ කතා කරන්නේ නැහැ හරියට. අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම ඉන්නවලු. Okay. මොනවා කරන්නේ?
ඉන්දියන් දෙවන එක පැත්තේද?
ඉන්ලන්ඩ් රෙවෙනියු එක පැත්ත නෙමෙයි පුතේ. මේ මැකලම් රෝඩ් එක දන්නවද? මැකලම් රෝඩ්. ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ එකට කියනවා ලේක් හවුස් එක ගාවින් මර්දාන පැත්තට එනකොට මැකලම් රෝඩ් එකෙන් එන්නේ අපි.
Oh, sir.
Sir, near SLECC, right?
ඈ
Near SLECC, right?
SLECC. What is SLEC?
Near the convention center.
අන්න හරි කන්වෙන්ෂන් සෙන්ටර් එක පහු කරලා තව ටිකක් එන්න ඕන මරදාන පැත්තට. එනකොට තියෙනවා ඔයගලන්ට කන්වෙන්ෂන් සෙන්ටර් එක පැත්තෙම බේරේ ලේක් එක ආයිනේ. දිගට තියෙනවා ඔයගලන්ට පෙනේ මේ නිකන් වෙයා හවුසස් වගේ. ලොකු නිකන් අරන බිල්ඩින් වෙයා හවුසස් වගේ තියෙනවා. අන්නේ වෙයා හවුසස් තමයි බොන්ඩඩ් වෙයා හවුසස් කියන්නේ. හරි. පාරෙන් අනිත් පැත්තෙත් තියෙනවා. මංගලම් රෝඩ් එකේ පාරේ අනිත් පැත්තෙත් තියෙනවා bonded warehouses. Right? දෙපැත්තේ තියෙනවා bonded warehouses. ඒව තමයි කොළඹ පෝට් එකේ තියෙන්නේ. අපි දැනගන්න ඕනවා සාමාන්‍යයෙන් මොකද වෙන්නේ කියන එක. ඊට පස්සේ හම්බන්තොට නම් කාබරගේ තියෙනවා massive area එකක්. එතනම bonded warehouses හදලා තියෙනවා. Sometimes the goods may come to airports. If it comes to Katunayaka airport, there's a special export processing zone in Katunayaka. ඒකේ තියෙන bonded warehouses. එලෙම මේවා දාලා security දාලා කිසි බඩුවක් එළියට යන්න බෑ. right? ඒක ඇතුළේම තමයි තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. අනිත් එක තමයි මත්තල airport එකට එන බඩු ටික process කරන්නේ කොග්ගල export processing zone එකේ. Right? Those are the designated bonded warehouse areas. Right? So under the commercial hub regulations, the BOI is permitted to grant certain concessions to entrepot traders. This is a very good opportunity to earn money. Right? Before I talk to you about the benefits, right, and the further things in entrepreneur trade. අපි මේක entrepreneur trade ඉවර කරලා මෙමු. ඉවර කරලා break එකක් ගමු. ඉවරයි. There are some other methods of having the entrepreneur trade. Can you all write down this note? I will read it out. Right? ඔයගලගේ pen pencil අරගෙන ලියා ගන්න පටන් ගන්න. Right? Entrepreneur trade spelling මතකනේ ENTREPOT. Entrepreneur trade shall be carried out in one of the following methods. A, goods imported be stored in a custom bonded warehouse until they are re-exported to a third country. B, repacking or relabeling or simple processing of goods imported be carried out in a right? Imported be carried out in a repacking or relabeling or simple processing of goods imported be carried out in a custom bonded warehouse, or bonded area before exporting to a third country. C. Exportation of goods directly from a second country to a third country without the goods physically arriving in Sri Lanka. D. Transfer from a ship or aircraft to another within the port of Sri Lanka, within the port in Sri Lanka, without the cargo being taken into a bonded warehouse. Right. ඔය ක්‍රම හතරටම entrepot trading වෙන්න පුළුවන්. එකක් තමයි the goods imported be stored in a custom bonded warehouse until they are re-exported.
Yes, sir. Can you repeat the last one?
D. Transfer from a ship or aircraft to another within a port in Sri Lanka without cargo being taken, B-E-I-N-G, cargo being taken into a bonded warehouse. Right.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So the first one is goods imported will put into a bonded warehouse. Then within 21 days, free hamba a bonded warehouse එක ආණ්ඩුව ගානේ ඒකෙන් process කරලා ship කරනවා. The second one is repacking, relabeling, simple processing of goods imported be carried out in a custom bonded warehouse or bonded area before exporting to a third country. Then first අපි අර මුකුත් කරන්නේ නැහැ. First එකේ bonded warehouse එකේ තියෙනවා. දවස් දෙකකින් පස්සේ ඊගාව ship එක ආවම re-export කරලා දානවා. මුකුත් කරන්නේ නැහැ. No value addition. ඒකේ value addition එකක් එනවා. C. Export of goods direct from country without physically arriving in Sri Lanka from China to Germany. එකත් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. From China to Germany යනවා without the goods coming to Sri Lanka. Right? ඒකත් අපිට ඕනනම් යවා ගන්න පුළුවන් ඒ විදිහට. හැබැයි මේවා හදන්නේ documentation හදන්නේ ලංකාවේ. ඇයි අපේ ඉන්න සෙලයි ජර්මන් බයගේ අතරනේ නේ contract එක තියෙන්නේ. Right? අනිත් එක තමයි transfer from one ship or aircraft to another කිසි දෙයක් කරනතු ප්ලේන් එක ආවා හරි මේ ෂිප් එක ආවා හම්බන්තොට වරායට බඩු බෑවා එලිම පැටවුව තව නැවකට එක ගියා සාජවලට ඒ වගේ තමයි මේක යන්නේ
Sir, excuse
Right.
me.
yeah
Sir, avant-garde එකේ මම සිංහලෙන් අහන්න avant-garde එකේදී arms ඔය විදිහට ship එකේදීම තවත් country එකට sell කරන method එකක් තිබ්බ නේද? ඒක එතකොට illegal ද illegal ද?
දැන් එතන ඇත්තටම ඉල්ලීගල් එකක් නෙමෙයි එක ගියේ එක ලීගල් එක ඉස්සරි දම්ම තිබුණ එකක් ඇවන්ගාඩ් එකට දුන්නා ඊට පස්සේ මොකද අපේ එහෙම නම් ඉල්ලීගල් නම් then they took it from Avantgarde and they gave it to Navy to do the thing. It is not an illegal thing. What they were doing is they were escorting the ships. They were doing a service. It was a service. They were escorting the ships to cross the pirated area in Somalian area. Somalian pirates line no, Indonesia pirates line no. ඔය දෙකේ නැව් වෙන්න බෑ නැව් වෙනකොට නැව් මංකොල්ල කනවා. ඉතින් මේගොල්ලෝ ආම්සිත් එක්ක ගිහිල්ලා මේව කරනවා. කරලා ඊට පස්සේ මේ ආම්ස් මේ entrepot trade එහෙම නෙමෙයි. එතකොට එතන කලේ legally මේගොල්ලෝ arms අරගෙන sometimes they sell it to those countries. They sell it to those countries. If it's a Maldives ship, in Maldives ship එකට මේගොල්ලෝ escort කරලා ඊළඟට ඒගොල්ලන්ට හදිස්සියකට ඕන කරන ආයුධ තියෙනවා නම් ඒකත් මේගොල්ලොම දුන්නා. right? ඒ වගේ දෙයක් තමයි එතන වුණේ. right? illegal දැන් illegal නම් ඊට පස්සේ ආණ්ඩුවෙන් කරන්නත් බෑනේ. එහෙනම් කොහොමද illegal නේ? අපි එහෙම දෙයක් නෙමෙයි. The benefits of entrepot trade to traders, right? It's a relatively easy method of earning foreign exchange because quick foreign exchange, 21 days, correct. The period of time spent to complete a transaction is relatively short. An advantage of not charging import or export levy at the port. That's another advantage. When the under you don't have to pay taxes. In the hari pahasuwak වෙනවා. Not only that, that is a benefit to the traders. Then benefit to the country, immense. Benefit to the country is immense in the sense that increase the foreign exchange earnings of the country. Not only that, they generate additional earnings, including valuable foreign exchange earnings for seaports, airports, and to the other service providers in Sri Lanka, both in public and private sector. All foreign exchange, right? Enhance the image of the country as a trading center. Trading hub back at it after Hambantota port, you can make it a superb entrepot trade area. Then there will be more ships coming to the port also. I don't know why these people are not focusing on this. අපි කියනවා විතරයි මේ කරන්න පුළුවන් දේවල් කරලා සල්ලි හොයන්න පුළුවන්. සල්ලි ඕන අපිට දැන් මේ දවස්වල. foreign exchange ඕන. අපි ඔක්කොම මාර්කට් foreign exchange එකේ. අනවශ්‍ය දේවල් කර ඉන්නවා මිසක් හැම ආණ්ඩුවක්ම එන හැම ආණ්ඩුවක්ම කරන්නේ all unwanted things. හම්බන්තොට ෆයිසර් ගැව්වත් කමන්නේ අඩු ගානේ අර වැඩ කරන ළමයින්ට ගැව්වා බොන්ඩඩ් වෙයාරහවුසස් වල ලංකාව වෙනවා right and then not only that benefit of unsupport trade to the country, the indirect, just imagine තව එකක් එනවා increase foreign exchange earnings විතර නෙමෙයි. What about the employment opportunities? People කුරුණෑගල, පන්නල, අනුරාධපුර, රත්නපුර, in those areas also they will go and work in those bonded warehouses. When they go and work in the bonded warehouses, there's employment opportunity for young crowd. Not only that, because machine badu hadanda no manufacturing. No manufacturing, only unskilled labor, cheap. Right? So you can give a lot of job opportunities. And when those people go and work in these bonded warehouses, where are they going to live? They have to go for boarding houses. When they go to boarding houses, that will be an indirect income to the boarding houses, the owners of the boarding houses. Right? Not only that, then they have to eat. When they want to eat, into Shangri-La in Hambantota, they go to the nearby boutiques. Right? එතකොට ඒ බුටික්ස් වල තියෙන බඩු මුට්ට අලෙවි වෙනවා. ඒ ගමේ කියන්නේ පොඩි පොඩි කඩවල ඒවත් මේ වෙනවා. ඒ පොඩි පොඩි හෝටල් වලින් කනවා. ඒව එනවා. බුලත් පිටි කඩවලට බිස්නස් වෙනවා. එතකොට මේ ඒ පැත්තේ මිනිස්සුන්ගේ ලිවිං ස්ටෑන්ඩඩ් පොඩ දියුණු වෙනවා. ඒක ඇත්තටම මේක බලනවා නම් මැසිව් එකක්. මේ ළමයින්ට රෙදි හොද ගන්න ඕන, ලොන්ඩ්‍රීස් එනවා. නේද? හිතලා බලන්න දැන් ඔය හිත උගන්න ලියත් හැකි වන්තර. කොහොමද මේක ඩිවලොප් වෙන්නේ කියලා. right? අපි එක පැත්තක් බලන්න නැතුව මේක unskilled labor වලට ලේසියෙන්ම දෙන්න පුළුවන්. මොකද we are not manufacturing things. We don't want any machinery. මෙතන තියෙන්නේ කේම් වගේ දේවල් තමයි යන්නේ. දැන් මෙතන තව සමහර ඒවා යනවා මේ narcotics ගේන්න බැරි වුණාට සිගරට්ස් එහෙම නම් මෙහෙ කරනවා මම හිතන්නේ. සිගරට් කළාට ඒක අර සෙලෝපින් පැක් එක තියෙනවා අර බන්ඩල් එක සිගරට් 12 24 කට බන්ඩල් කරලා එනකොට ඒ සෙලෝපින් පැකින් එහෙම කඩන්න බෑ. ඒවා ලංකාවට එන්නත් ඕනේ සෙලෝපින් පැකින් එකේ. මෙහෙට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන්න ඕනේ සෙලෝපින් පැකින් එකේ. සිගරට්ස් එහෙම නිකන් ලූස් අර වගේ තමයි ඒ වගේ දේවල් එන්නේ. ඒ ඔක්කොම පැකින් කරන තානම් customs වලින් check කරනවා. මොකද custom bonded warehouses. Right? Otherwise all those things will come into the local market. Then facilities provided by the Sri Lankan government to develop entrepreneur trade. Regulations issued by the Control of Exchange encouraging entrepreneur trade, either via Sri Lanka or direct to third country. Right? Exchange controller entrepreneur trading වලට support කරලා තියෙනවා. අර මං කිව්වේ circle එක exchange control එක. මේ පාලන දෙපාර්තමේන්තුව. Right? On 29th April 2013. Reference number, circular number 06/04/14/2013. එක උගලන්ට වෙබ් එකේ බ්‍රවුස් කළාම සෙන්ට්‍රල් බැංක් සයිට් එකේ මේ
Excuse me, sir, can you repeat it?
Reference 06
Yeah.
/oblique and error 04/14/2013. right? Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. එතකොට dated 29th April 2013. මේවා අපිට හදන්න පුළුවන්. Tax exemptions and exemptions granted for selected products like petroleum, gas, and petroleum products. Concessionary warehouse charges and free facility up to 21 days granted by SLPA, Sri Lanka Ports Authority. Goods under entrepot trade are stored in bonded warehouses until exported. But prohibited to be used in Sri Lanka. Strictly, they will not allow any goods to come into Sri Lanka. The EDB Export Development Board create awareness by conducting seminars and issuing brochures and provide advisory services to promote this concept. It's a very good concept. Building infrastructure such as air cargo terminal at Katunayaka, SLPA warehouse at DR Vijayawardena Mawatha and Hambantota port. But Hambantota port can be developed immensely so that we can boost as a good export trade in Southeast Asia, right? The ගොඩක් වගේ countries තියෙනවා, Hong Kong, Singapore, the Malaysia, UK, ඒ වගේ countries තියෙනවා. මම මේ කොහෙද දැක්ක ආටිකල් එකක ගොඩක් countries තියෙනවා. හැබැයි ඒකට වඩා අපිට හොඳ මේකක් තියෙනවා. අපේ opportunity එකක් තියෙනවා. මොකද අපේ තියෙන PhD උඩ අනික අපේ labor cheap labor හින්දා පොඩි ගාණක් ගෙවලා අපිට profit margin එක වැඩි කරගන්න පුළුවන්. Right? Anything else on this? Anything else on this? Right. We'll take a small break of 10 minutes. Now it's 11:23. 11:33. Please come back and I'm going to start another important areas. ගේ පාරත් questions මම දීප එකක් අපි ඒක discuss කරලා බලමු. Sri Lanka Export Credit Insurance Corporation and EDB and Chamber of Commerce, right? Sri Lanka Export Credit Insurance Corporation. Now, in the morning session, the first session, we did counter trade and entrepot trade, right? Both are trade methods, how the trading are happening. Now we are going to the second session, we are going to learn about the organizations and institutions that are helping international trade operations in Sri Lanka. Organizations and institutions, right? Okay. When you are dealing with international trade operations, definitely you should know about these organizations and institutions and their services. So at least you will be able to, as bankers, even if you are working in branches or whatever, you will be able to guide your people, guide your customers accordingly. I mean, you can tell them, this is the way you have to do it, right? If you are doing exports, why not you get the SLESIC cover? Then you get a more cover, especially in a pandemic situation in all over the world, right? All countries are facing these economic constraints. These type of organizations are playing a much vital role. So it is important for us to know about them, right? Last week we did foreign exchange. Did I? අපි forex කතා කළා නේද? Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Oh, sir.
Yes. Yes, and we have done 2 questions also.
Yes.
Yes.
And I asked you to do it third and fourth. If time permits, we'll try to do at least 1 or 2 today also. But it depends on how the things are going. There we were talking about මම එකපාරට මේකෙන් අහකට ගිහලා ඩීවේට් වෙනවා. මේ ලංකාවේ වෙන දේවල් හැටියට මේ කරගෙන උගන්ට එක්සෑම් ක්වෙස්චන් එක එන්නම මේ forward rates calculations වලින් තමයි එන්නේ නේ. අපි දෙකක් කරන්නේ forward rates. But as per the circular, the recent guidelines issued by the central bank to commercial banks on 8th of September, last Wednesday, කෙලින්ම කිව්වා no forward contracts. No forward contracts. No forward contracts එක forex වල ගණන් හදන්නත් බෑ. Right? මම දන්නේ නැහැ කොහොමද ලංකාවේ ඉස්සරහට යන්නේ කියන එක. Let's see. Right? Okay. We are coming back to Sri Lanka Export Credit Insurance Corporation. In simple, I will call it SLASIC. SLASIC was established in 1978, recently, right? Incorporated by Act of Parliament, Act number 15 of 1978. 1977 signifies a big change in Sri Lankan economy. What is that?
Open
97
economy.
Open economy. That was the introduction of open economy. With the introduction of the open economy, this lot of other important institutions were introduced. One is SLASIC. One of the best politicians I have ever seen, Mr. Lalit Athulammadili. What a brain. But he was shot dead by some interested parties. Right? ඒ වගේ මිනිස්සු මරණට දාන්නේ අපිව මරලා දාන එක. මේ මිස්ටර් ලලිත් අතුලම්බදලිගේ brain child තමයි මේ ඔක්කොම. His brain child. SLASIC, EDB, BOI. ඔය ඔක්කොම එයා පටන් ගත්ත ඒවා. හිටියනම් අද ඇත්තටම ලංකාව අනිත් පැත්තට කරකවලා අපේ වෙලාවට නැති වුණා. ඒ වගේ මිනිස්සු. Major activities of Sri Lanka Export Credit Insurance Corporation is, now you must be asking, Sri Lanka Export Credit Insurance Corporation. Why do you want to go to Export Credit Insurance Corporation when we are doing the insurance? It's a must to do marine insurance when we are importing or exporting goods. Why we should go to Export Credit Insurance Corporation? Can somebody elaborate on that? වැරදුවට කමන්න පුතේ. මොනාරි කියන්න බං. එයි. එයි අපි මේකෙත් ඉන්ෂුරන්ස් එකක් ගන්න. අද ඉන්ෂුරන්ස් එකක් ගන්න ඕනේ. That insurance is for marine. Only during the transit. If something happens to the goods, they will insure. Here, it is different. Here we are insuring the exporter. any damages to exporter, not the goods. If the other party doesn't pay, marine insurance will not cover all those things. No? That is why SLESIC is important. Under their major activities, they issue pre-shipment credit guarantees. Pre-shipment credit guarantees. ණය මොන හරි තියෙනවා ණය ඔක්කොම මේගොල්ලෝ guarantee කරනවා. Pre-shipment. Issue of post-shipment trade guarantees. Right? Issue of export production credit guarantees. Once you produce the production credit guarantees. Issue of export performance guarantees. Export performance guarantees covering ATA Kane system. Kane system. Kane, T එක silent. Kane system. Issue of export payment insurance policies. Seller's risk. Now we'll go simple, you can understand, except for one. Issue of export performance guarantees covering ATA Kane system. Anybody knows what is ATA Kane? Anybody knows what is ATA Kane? ATA Kane is something like this. We'll explain it with an example so that it's easy for you to understand. Okay, now you're going to, every December or January, in Dubai, they have a big trade fair, Dubai Trade Fair, where people will participate in the Dubai Trade Fair. Okay, now one of the gem merchant, he is planning to go and participate in Dubai Trade Fair. Arabic arena, Salikare, right? So, when they are taking the gems and jewelry out of the country, they have to pay export taxes. And then the balance, when they are bringing it back to the country, they have to pay import taxes. Those taxes, percentages are very high. Right? Then they can't do business. So, what they do, instead of taking, paying taxes and allowing them to take the goods out, right? They issue ATA Kane guarantee. ATA Kane guarantee. ATA Kane guarantee is if you are taking certain gems and jewelry for the trade fair, you have to list down everything. Many cutie කැටේ ලියන්න ඕන. ඒ ඔක්කොම ලියලා කරලා ලොකු ලිස්ට් එක හදලා ගන්නවා මෙන්න බඩු ටික. මෙන්න මේ බඩු වල market value එක. කරලා then you have to give it to these people, SLESIC. Then the SLESIC will issue ATA Kane guarantee. ATA Kane guarantee and issue. So then we'll go to the airport and submit the ATA Kane guarantee, right, along with the goods. Then those people will check the export as per the schedule of the ATA Kane guarantee. Is it clear? Is it clear? And then, yeah, then they will, once they check everything is there, then they will allow the exporter to take the goods out of the country without charging any duty. Without charging any duty. Okay? Then comes...
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
So now, as you said, for the trading of gems, SLSIC will issue this ATA Khani permission. So is it only for gems, goods like gems, or like are there any? Can this be issued to all other goods as well?
Yes. If you are planning to take them out of the country, if you are planning to take them out of the country for the purpose of an exhibition or trade fair and sell it, and you are planning to bring back the balance back to the country. In a scenario like that, yes. Is it clear?
Yes, sir, clear.
Right. Okay. Then they will allow you to take the stuff. And then you go to the Dubai fair, put a stall like that. Then you're selling the thing. You get a very good market there. I was there for about 10 years. During all 10 years, during the trade fair time, I used to go to visit the trade fair very frequently, at least 3-4 times, at least more than 3-4 times. And you know, මට මොකද මගේ ඔය කාලේ වෙනකොට ලංකාවට එන ලංකාවේ කොහොම දුබයි වලට විසිට් කරනවන ගොඩක් කට්ටිය. ඇවිල්ලා අපේ ගෙදර නවතිනවා. ඒ මිනිස්සුන් අරගෙන 10 පාරක් විතර අපි යනවා මයි වයිෆි ට්‍රේඩ් ෆෙයා බලන්න යනවා. අන්තිමට ට්‍රේඩ් ෆෙයා ගිහලා අපි දෙන්න කරන්නේ පුටුවක මේ බංකුවක වඩලා ඔහේ ඉන්න අර මිනිස්සු ගිහලා ඉන්නවා. ඒ මිනිස්සු අතරම වෙනවනේ. ඒ වගේ ඉතින් මම ගොඩක් වඩා යනවා අපේ gem section එකට. Right? Some people, I don't want to name the people, they have displayed how we are cutting the gems in the traditional manner. ඔබ දැකලා තියෙනවද? අපේ පැත්තේ gems කපන පරණ ඒවා දැන් gem cutting machines නෙමෙයි. අර නූල් වගේ ඔතල ලණු වගේ ඔතල අර අතින් එද මොනවද කරලා මම දැන් මට තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ. that's a normal way they do it. like පරණ විදියට. ඒවා එහෙම මිනිස්සු අරබිකාරයෝ රටවල මිනිස්සු කට අරගෙන බලන් ඉන්නවා. How we are cutting and polishing the gems කියලා. That's a good market. And then when we sell the thing, whatever the goods we have sold, we have to get we have to remit the money through a bank to your bank in Colombo. Immediately you have to transfer it. And you have to bring the remitting advice. Remitting advisors take under. Then අපි තුමු අපි earn කළයි කියලා about $50,000 by selling your gems. You earn $50,000. So that $50,000 you should have remitted to your bank in Colombo. And you should have the receipt. Then you are coming back to Sri Lanka. Now at the airport, once you come back, they'll put you to a room and then again they check it against the ATA Khani guarantee schedule to see the balance. Our balances the balance okay la ko etika we have sold. These are the invoices. These are the receipt. We have remitted the money. Okay. Then they allow you to sometimes they will charge a small tax or service charges or tax or something, and then they allow you to bring the goods into the country. Otherwise, twice you have to pay taxes. So that is ATA Khani system. Clear? Okay. Then issue of export payment insurance policies at seller's risk. Right? If the payment doesn't received by the exporter, that will also cover. Now, the normal marine insurance will cover only the goods, but here they cover the payment. If they are dragging the payment, or if the buyer is bankrupt, he is not in a position to pay you, at least you will get a cover from the Schleswig. So, all in all, this is a very good opportunity. The seller's risk export credit insurance solution provided by Schleswig are the අන්තිමට මම කියන seller's risk export credit insurance. Some of the solutions provided by the Schleswig are they insure the seller's credit term portfolio against non-payment by buyers for a nominal premium, considering the overall liquidity position of the seller. Right? Any against the credit seller's credit term portfolio against non-payment by buyers for a nominal premium. Right? Ensures non-payment of specific shipment, specific buyers, countries. Sometimes we insure the non-payment of specific shipment. Shipment again, some specific buyers or specific countries. If you are dealing with countries like Syria, if you are exporting tea to Syria or Afghanistan, in today's context, right, it's risky because the country is war. So better to get a specific guarantee. බඩු ටික නැති වුණොත් ඒකට වෙනම ඉන්ෂුරන්ස් කෝපරේෂන් එකකින් හරි ඉන්ෂුරන්ස් කම්පැනි එකකින් හම්බ වෙනවා. හැබැයි බඩු ටික එහාට ගියාට පස්සේ සල්ලි එවෙ නැත්තම් මොකද කරන්නේ? ඒක කව වෙන්නේ නැහනේ. ඒක කව කරන්න තමයි මේ ස්ලෙසික් එක තියෙන්නේ. Right? Insures Sri Lankan exporters against non-payment of the shipments that are affected from second country to a third country. Why Sri Lanka? What is that? Entrepot trade. Even the entrepot trade is covered by Schleswig. Even entrepot trade is covered by Schleswig. Right? Ensures non-payment for export of services such as software, construction, telecom, හැම එකක්ම අපිට insure කරලා ගන්න පුළුවන් Schleswig guarantees හැටියට. The risk covered are insolvency of the buyer. If the buyer is bankrupt, then we cover, we pay. Right? Protracted default by the buyer. Sometimes the buyers will drag the payment. Right? ඒවලත් අපිට මේකෙන් cover කරලා ගන්න පුළුවන්. Non-acceptance by the buyer. If the buyer doesn't accept, non-acceptance by the buyer. Right? A risk occurrence of hostilities, wars, insurrections, civil or political disturbances, terrorist actions, natural disaster in the buyer's country. Put countries like Afghanistan, Syria under this. 30 seconds, පොඩ්ඩක් කල්පනා කරලා බලන්න. මේ එකින් එක ඒවා ඒ countries වල තියෙනවා මොනවද වෙන්න පුළුවන් කියලා. ඊට පස්සේ මම අහන්නේ මොනවද වෙන්න පුළුවන් කියලා අහලා බලන්න. හිතලා බලන්න. මොකද වෙන්නේ? දැන් මේ වගේ countries එක වැඩ කරද්දී Schleswig guarantee එකක් තියෙන එක හොඳද නරකද? What do you think? Is it good or no use?
Good. Actually,
Good.
it is encourage the exporters.
There you are. This will encourage the exporters. But how many people knows about this? How many people knows about this? Are these so-called ministers and the people, are they talk about these things in the TV or something? Right? They are talking all nonsense, ne? We have to talk about these things. මේවා උගන්වන්න ඕනේ ඒ අක්කොන්ට. ඔයගලන්ට නෙමෙයි පුතේ උගන්වන්න ඕනේ. මේවා දේවල් මේ ලංකාවේ තියෙනවයි කියලා. එහෙම නැත්නම් ඒගොල්ලෝ දන්නේ නැතුව ඉන්න බෑ. නැතුව ඉන්න බෑ. right? නැතුව ඉන්න බෑ. මොකද මට ඇත්තටම මම හරි අපි හර්ට් මේ මෙච්චරකල් ට්‍රේඩ් එකේ අපි වැඩ කරලා මේ වගේ දේවල් තියාගෙන අපි කස්ටමර්ස්ට ඇඩ්වයිස් කරන්නේ නැහැ. අපේ ලොකු මිනිස්සු මේක කරන්නේ නැහැ. right? And I'm just deviating වුණාට මේ හැම එකක්ම එකකට connected. මම ඔයගොල්ලන්ට කියන්නේ when I'm teaching I'm taking a lot of real life scenario issues. When I was working by HSBC, Dubai, I was very, that's my way of doing things. I was a very popular character in the Sri Lankan community, within the Sri Lankan community, especially with the embassy. I was so closely working with the embassy there towards the betterment of my motherland. I did everything to help Sri Lanka. For 10 years, I worked like that. Right? My banking out of a month, work like a house at Pulantrang embassy. Because of that, sometimes the ambassador also, when some delegation comes from Sri Lanka, trade delegation, he invites me. So sometimes will you please come? Once I was invited by the ambassador to meet the trade minister of Sri Lanka. Trade minister of Sri Lanka, who happens to be in Dubai, and he wanted to discuss about the trade activities, the SLASIC and all those things. Like, තමයි කිව්වේ. එහෙම තමයි කිව්වේ. කියලා මම ගියා උදේ පාන්දර. The meeting was at 9 o'clock in one of the big hotels. Hotel එක තමයි Intercon. Dubai Intercon එකේ ගියා. ගියාම my ambassador දෙන්නම අපි දෙන්න විතරයි. අපි දෙන්නයි තව එක්කෙනෙක් හිටියා business council, Sri Lankan business council chairman. Right? අපි තුන්දෙනා ඉන්නවා නෑ. අන්න ඊට පස්සේ message එකක් කිව්වා අරයට call කරලා කිව්වා right, give me 10-15 minutes කියලා. Then they invited us to the cafeteria. Right? නමය මාට විතර ආවා මේ family එකම ඔන්න breakfast වලට. Then a breakfast table came wadla, okay, we'll have some breakfast and then we'll discuss. Three of us, we said, no, we don't want. Tea or coffee would do, but nothing. They are not talking sense. They are talking all this Dubai, how Dubai is, and all those things. To see the entire team and entire family, including wife, sister, daughter, son, everybody has come. They were hiring two luxury suits also. මේ බානිද කොච්චර දුකද කියලා කියලා අතේකවන්ට මට තේරෙනවා මේ බොරුව කරන්න කියලා. So then I asked, why your a nice thing happened. When he saw me, he asked me, it's a familiar face to me. Which I called there. Are you Anandan Kilewa? Manko, yes, I was at Ananda. Then which year? That's why even I was there. I know that you were there, but I didn't want to mention that kera. School එකට හිටියලා මම මතකනේ. ඉතින් ඒ පාර මම කැෂුවල් ලැබුවා මොකද කට්ටිය මොකද කියලා. No, we just want to see the Dubai fair. Because these people, family wants to see the Dubai fair. And from there, we are going to UK because I want to put my son into a college there. I think he could settle down. Then බලන්න ලංකාවේ සල්ලි නේද? මේවා කරන්න නැතුව මේ වගේ දේවල් ප්‍රොමෝට් කරනවා නම් අපේ මිනිස්සුන්ට කොච්චර සල්ලි ගන්න බලන්න. මේකෙන් තමයි අපි කලකිරලා තියෙන රට ගැන. Right? කොච්චර මේ disasters වලින් අපේ තියෙන risk වලින් අපි cover කරගන්න පුළුවන්ද? Nobody knows. I don't think. Did you know about this organization earlier as bankers? Anybody? Tell me frankly.
No, sir.
No. But you are a banker. But you are a banker. So we have to know about it. And these are the things we have to discuss. Then general moratorium declared by the government of the bias country. So in a COVID pandemic situation like this, and with the scarcity of foreign currency and all those things, still we are doing with our limited resources, we are doing the payments with all that difficulty. But there will be a situation that there will be a general moratorium declared by the government. Sorry, we can't pay. No money. That can happen to Afghan guys also. The way the things are happening, very soon they will declare a government moratorium. Then what about our exporters who export tea, rubber to them? Even spices and all, they won't get the money. That's a government moratorium. But if you are having a Schleswig guarantee, at least 2/3 of the amount, you can get it from Schleswig. At least 2/3 of the amount. Right? What do you think? ගිලිලා මැරෙන්න යන එක යාන්තම් බෙල්ල ගාවට වතුර ඇවිල්ලා හරි අපිට බේරෙන්න පුළුවන් මැරෙන්නේ නැතුව නේද? නැත්තම් අපි සමහරවිට මැරෙනවානේ. අපේ ඔක්කොම ඉවරයිනේ. ඇයි අපි කරන්නේ නැත්තේ? Very pathetic situation. Right? ඒ වගේ moratorium ආවොත් you can claim under Schleswig guarantee. Then changes in the laws of the bias country and no import ban. If they have implement the import ban all of a sudden, but still the seller can get some sort of money. When here adugane 2/3 නම් ගන්න පුළුවන්. Political events or economic difficulties arising in the bias country, which prevents delays in transfer of payments to Sri Lanka. Vice versa කියලා මම දැන් අනික් කෑල්ල දැන් ලංකාවෙන් එළියට යන්න තියෙන ඉන්සිඩන්ට් එක තියෙනවා. ඒ රටවලත් තියෙනවා. ලෝකේ හැම රටකම දියුණු රටකම export trade insurance corporations තියෙනවා. Export Credit Insurance Corporation. Not Schleswig. Schleswig කියන්නේ ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ එන්නේ SL නැතුව අනිත් එක තියෙනවා. ඒ රටවල ඒවා UK Export Credit Insurance Corporation UK කියලා තියෙනවා. Export Credit Insurance Corporation Germany, right? They have their this thing. And
What
they
about
use,
Dubai, sir?
right? Dubai also they have. Dubai also they have. Because they have exporters ne, Export Credit Insurance Corporation at institutions. හැම රටකම තියෙනවා. අපෙත් තියෙනවා. 78 ඉඳන් තියෙනවා. කවුද දන්නේ? 78 88 98 108 අවුරුදු 43ක් තිස්සේ. බැංකර්ස්ලා දන්නවද? මම හිතන්නේ ඒක මේවා ප්‍රොමෝට් කරන්න පුළුවන් බැංකර්ස්ලාටනේ. You are the people who are having the customers, right? එතකොට මේ එතකොට අපිට මේ මුකුත් කරන්න බෑ. අපිට මේව කරන්න පුළුවන්. Then risk not covered by the insurance. Everything is not covered. There are certain things that are not covered by the insurance. They are disputes between the exporter and importer regarding the quality, quantity, packing. ඒව cover වෙන්නේ ගෝරි, right? Then unless the exporter obtain a court decree in his favor. ඒවා ඉතින් ඒතර නඩු දාලා court decree එකක් ගන්න ඕන නැත්නම් වෙනව මේ ඒව cover වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Causes inherent in the nature of goods. Causes inherent in the nature of goods. ඒක cover වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Can you give me one example? Causes inherent in the nature of goods. මම මේක example එකක් කිව්වා. When we were discussing about the risk in international trade.
Perishable items.
Perishable එක cover වෙනව නේද marine insurance එකෙන්. Perishable එක marine insurance එකෙන් cover වෙනවා. මේ causes inherent in the nature of goods කියන්නේ දැන් අපි salt පටවනවා නම් on deck salt පටවලා අරන් ගියොත් මොකද වෙන්නේ? මුහුදු රැල්ල වැදිලා මුහුද හුලඟ වැදිලා salt අරන් යන්නේ ගනි bags උන්නේ. ගනි bags ටික තමයි ඉතුරු වෙන්නේ මේ ඉඳන් දවස් 10ක් විතර මුහුදේ transit එකේ ගියොත්. නේ? ඒකම ඒවා කව වෙන්නේ. ඒව නම් අපි තියන්න ඕන containers වල දාලා ඒවා වෙනම containerize යන්න ඕන. නැතු අර on deck වගේ දාලා වැස්සත් එහෙම වැස්සට තෙමෙනවා. තෙමන ලුණු තිය වෙලා යනවා. අන්තිමට එහා පැත්තෙන් බාන්නේ ගෝණි. ඊළඟට ඒවට මේව claim කරන්න බෑ. එතකොට certain chemicals like මං කිව්වේ hydrogen peroxide වගේ ඒවා H2O2 hydrogen peroxide, that if it get exposed to the direct sunlight, then it will be broken into H2O and O2. H2O කියන්නේ වතුරනේ, ජලය සහ ඔක්සිජන් වලට කැඩලා යනවා. එතකොට එහා පැත්තෙන් බානකොට hydrogen peroxide බෝතලේ වතුර තියෙන්නේ. hydrogen peroxide නෙමෙයි. ඉතින් ඒ වගේ දේවල් කව වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒක you have to be careful how you are transporting. Default of any agents of the exporter. If the exporter's agents are defaulting the money, that also not covered. Those are dispute and cheating. Then fluctuation in the exchange rates. Fluctuation in the exchange rates. ඒකත් cover කරන්න බෑ. ලංකාවේ රටවල කොහොමත් කරන්න බෑනේ. දැන් මේ යන විදියට 230, 235, then 201, all of a sudden, sterling 320, then back to 278, 280, right? ඔය volatility එක, ඒ fluctuations cover වෙන්නේ නැහැ, right? Okay. The benefits to the policyholder are a claim on if payment are not made within a reasonable period. Right? A claim on SLESIC if payment are not made within a reasonable period. Normally, අපිට මේ claims යනවා නම් දාන්න ඕනේ within 2 years. I don't know whether I have written it here. ඔළුවේ තියාගන්න ඕන customers ට කතා කරනකොට within 2 years දාන claim එකක් දාගන්න ඕන. ඊට පස්සේ බෑ claim කරන්න. Good collateral security as a policy gives you easy access to post-shipment finance from banks. Very important item. Good collateral security. When you get the post-shipment finance, when you're asking for post-shipment finance facilities from banks, right, they will ask you to keep a collateral. Now, if you have taken a SLESIC guarantee, what else you want? It's like, it's a good security for your money advanced by the banks. For the money advanced by the banks, right? Make a bank get a bank get the policy, SLESIC policy assigned to the bank. SLESIC policy assigned to the bank, right? So it's a very good security, good collateral. Ability to expand exports to existing market on more competitive credit terms. If you have a credit guarantee like this, then you can try to expand your markets, right? Opportunity to diversify into new markets. Assessment of credit worthiness of the buyers, right? Assessment of credit worthiness of the buyers. Well, the credit worthiness of the buyers, SLESIC karna. Before they fix the premium, they check everything, right? They have the network, again check the thing. For the confident. Advice on buyers, credit and payment terms. Assistance in collection of overdue payments. Protect overall liquidity. So all in all, it is a very good beneficial thing to the policy holders. Right? Now, just see the main differences between, there are two types of SLESIC guarantees. One is pre-shipment. The other one is post-shipment. Right? You might get, sometimes you might get a question to say, compare post-shipment trade guarantees and pre-shipment trade guarantees of SLESIC. එතකොට අපි compare කළා මේ වගේ ලියන්න ඕන. Right? A pre-shipment trade guarantee amount guaranteed is 66 2/3 of the guaranteed loss. The guaranteed loss is $100,000 now. You will get 66,600 or something. $66,600 is again. So that is, something is better than nothing. Otherwise, you have to bear the entire loss, right? If it is post-shipment guarantee, the amount guaranteed is 75% of the guaranteed loss. Then you get 75%. 75,000 number post-shipment. But the risk is aduini. Make it a pre-shipment again. Pre-shipment එකේදී බඩු manufacture කරලා යවන්න ඕනේ. මෙතන we have already shipped the goods, right? Then eligible for the advance granted by the bank for export pre-shipment against DC or confirmed export order. Eligible for the advance granted by the bank for export pre-shipment against DC, against LC or confirmed export order. After that, again, eligible for the advance granted by the bank, what is a loan? the bank is granting to the customer, keeping this pre-shipment trade guarantee. What is the loan? What is the name of the loan the bank is going to give it to the customer? Exported. මොකද්ද? එක්කෙනෙක්වත් දන්නේ නැද්ද? What is the loan you are taking from the exporters? What is the loan you are taking from banks, your bank, to manufacture the goods and export? මොකද්ද ඒ කියන නම?
Working capital loan.
What is that?
Working capital loan.
No. Working capital loan නෙමෙයි.
Packing credit.
Packing credit loan. Packing credit loan. Packing credit loan එකට හොඳම security තමයි මේක. Pre-shipment trade guarantee. Packing credit loan. Right? Then post-shipment එකේදී eligible for purchase, negotiation or discount of export bills sent on collection basis or advances against such bills. දැන් බලන්න මම ඔයගලන්ට කිව්වා financing of international trade වලදී මම කිව්වා purchasing of collection bills, export collection bills is high risk. We will purchase it, but how do we know that we will get the money? There's no guarantee that the buyer will pay us. Okay. Under this post-shipment trade guarantee, we can get a guarantee. If we can get a guarantee, that will be a good collateral for the amount we purchase and give the money to the customer. Right? We can give the money to the customer. The mega honda tool lega. The exporter need not have an export payment insurance policy from SLESIC. The exporter need not have an export payment insurance policy from SLESIC. Is 15 cents per 100 rupees. 15 cents per 100 rupees කියන්නේ කොච්චරද? 0.15 divided by 100 කියන්නේ 0.0015. 0.0015 තමයි අපිට එන්නේ rate එක. premium එක. දැන් එතකොට අපි කිව්වොත් එහෙම 100,000 rupees කියලා into 100,000 rupees now. ₹150. 150 rupees premium. Right? අපි බලමු dollars වලට ගත්තොත් එහෙම 20 cents per US dollars for US dollar guarantee. Right? If you are taking the guarantee $100,000 into 0.0020 $200. $200. Why can't we pay a premium of $200 and get a cover for $100,000? Answer, I'll keep it for you. Just think of it. Why we are not doing this? Then post-shipment guarantees, the premium payable is 7 cents per 100. Right? For LKR guarantees and 7 cents per US dollars for US dollar guarantees. Well, other 15 cents, or 20 cents, then 7 cents, were risky card for shipment. Manufacturing risk, we have already shipped the goods, right? So because of that, premium is low. We can easily get the cover, and $200 can, how many rupees? 40,600 rupees. If we pay that amount, then we get a cover for 20 million. කාටද කියන්නේ නේද? දැන් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට තේරෙනව නේද මේ importance එක and why we are not promoting. The main similarities between two schemes are application for guarantees should be submitted to SLESIC by the bank proposing to grant the advance. This is very important. If you are a customer, you can't go and ask for a SLESIC guarantee. That guarantee application should go from a bank. Right? එකෙක්ට ඕන ඉදිරිය යන්න බෑ. බැංක් එක හරහා යන්න ඕන. අපි ඇඩ්වාන්ස් කරන බැංක් එක හරහා තමයි යන්න ඕනේ. In submitting proposals for bank guarantees, all material facts shall be disclosed to SLESIC. SLESIC එකට ඔක්කොම material facts කියන්න ඕනේ. මොනවද? යන goods මොනවද? කොහොමද අරගන්නේ? Whether it's containerized cargo, right? All those things you have to say. Then these bank guarantees are contracts of insurance, and therefore banks should observe utmost good faith at all times. Monthly declaration with the premium payable are based on highest balance outstanding during the month. Monthly premium එක අපි බලන්නේ based on the highest balance during the month. Highest outstanding balance, right? Should be submitted to SLESIC. Of following month. Advances should be made only after obtaining pay කරන්න ඕනේ. Approval from SLESIC should be obtained for individual limits in respect of each export. Right? Banks should take reasonable care when granting further advances in an overdue situation. These are common things. If the customer has obtained a guarantee and it has to be done through the bank, right? Now you find there are some overdue situation. Negotiations are going on, but overdue situation is there. In a scenario like that, we should not grant further advances. Right? Any overdue payments should be promptly notified to SLESIC. Any overdue payment should be promptly notified to SLESIC. Right? Renewal proposals should be submitted by banks if they wish to continue with the facility. Right? Extension to advances covered by the guarantee should have the prior approval of SLESIC. Extensions to advances. අපි තව මොනවාද advances අපි cover කරනවා නම් අපි දීලා තියෙන loans වලට due date එක වෙනස් කරනවා නම් then first we have to get the if we have granted the loan against a SLESIC guarantee, then we have to get the approval of the SLESIC guarantee on terms with SLESIC. Then only we can advance the facility. Right? Overdue advances should be reported to SLESIC within 30 days. Right? New advances should not be granted by the bank in respect of buyers who had already defaulted the exporter. Any questions? Claims should be launched with SLIC not later than 2 years of the date of default. Within 2 years. Default again 2 years later in current law. Bank should take all necessary steps to prevent or minimize the loss involved. Any nursing programs for defaulted advances should have the prior approval of SLIC. What do you mean by that particular one? Any nursing program for defaulted advance should have the prior approval of SLIC. ඒක මොකද මේ nursing program එක කියන්නේ? Nurses ලාව train කරනවද?
Rescheduling, restructuring of
Nursing
loans.
program. Where there you are, you got it. When you are restructuring the facilities, those programs for defaulted advances, first we had to get the approval of SLIC. ඉතින් ඒවා ලොකු දේවල් නෙමෙයි නේද? ඇත්තටම SLIC එකේ ගැරන්ටි එක අපි කොලැටරල් එකට අරන් තියනවා නම් අපි යුතුයකම තමයි කියන එක නේ. එట్లా ඒ approval එක ගන්න ඕන. ඉතින් මේවා මේ ලොකු දේවල් නෙමෙයි. ඉතින් අපි බලා ගන්න ඕන customers KYC. Know your customer. ඉතින් ඒවා වෙනකන් last moment එකකින් ඉන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. You should try to restructure it. But if you are restructuring the loans, then you have to get the SLIC approval. The reason they have guaranteed the payments. Right? Any amounts recovered should be shared between the bank and the SLIC in the same proportion. Right? මොනාරි ආවොත් එහෙම අර SLIC එකට ගෙවන්න තින්ට ගෙවලා ඒ ටික තමයි බැංක් එකේ ගන්න ඕනේ. ඒක සාධාරණයි. මොනාරි ඇග්‍රීමන්ට් එකක් ඇති. ඇග්‍රීමන්ට් එකේ විදියට. Right. Any questions on SLIC? Any questions on SLIC? Right. Then we move on to the other one. Sri Lanka Export Development Board. What is the short name? Short name is what?
EDB.
EDB. EDB. EDB කොහෙද තියෙන්නේ? අදිසේ කස්ටමර් කෙනෙක් ඇහුවොත් යන්න ඕනේ මෙතෙන්ද කියලා කියන්නේ. දන්නේ
නවම අවතී.
නවම අවත. නවම අවත. මම හිතන්නේ ස්ලෙසික්කුත් තියෙන්නේ නවම අවත කියලා තමයි මම හිතන්නේ. Just check. ඒක නම් Google කරලාම බලා ගන්න පුළුවන් කොහෙද තියෙන කියලා ඇඩ්‍රස් එක. right? මම මතක තිබුණේ ඒ දවස්වල තිබුණේ නවම අවත කියලා. right. The Sri Lanka Export Development Board, usually known as EDB, is Sri Lanka's apex organization for the promotion and development of exports. And this was established in 1979 under the Sri Lanka Export Development Act number 40. Right? Okay. Services provided by EDB to Sri Lankan exporters. I don't want to go through the whole thing because make a question here ඔයගොල්ලන් දෙන්න පුළුවන් මේවා කියවන්න ඕන දැන් බලමු ටිකක් මට ඊට වඩා වැදගත් ඔයගොල්ලොත් එක තව ගානක් දෙකක් කරගන්න let's see because our ඔය 1997 to 2007, 10 years, right? මම මේ බෝස් කරන්න කියනවා නෙමෙයි මම මේ උගලන්ට කියන්නේ මේ අපේ politiciansලා government institutions වල කට්ටිය කොහොමද වැඩ කරන්නේ කියලා. Right? But now EDB is good. About 2-3 years back, I went there. Drastic change. Now they are very good. Right? There was one lady, chairperson was a lady. අන්තිමට මම යනකොට හරිම ලස්සනට මේක අනිත් පැත්තට පෙරලා මේ කළ තුනක් හරියට උදව් කරනවා ඕනම කෙනෙක්ට උදව් කරනවා ඒක තමයි වෙන්න ඕනේ මේ EDB the other people who what do you call this exporters market promotions and development programs. First, they do the advice to exporters, require ඉන්නවද? මට නම් ඕනෙත් නෑ නේ ඉන්නවද කියලා විතරක් මට කියන්න. Yes or no? ඔරකත් නැද්ද? Credit officer credit managers la branch credit officers definitely there must be right any branch managers or SM managers or credit officers කට්ටිය තමයි නේ ගොඩක් customers ලා හම්බෙන්නේ. I think you can talk to your customers and with the knowledge you are acquiring with these programs, you have to advise your customers and try to make them more comfortable and support them to get more money by exporting certain things, right? Then ඒකින්ද මේවා ඔයගොල්ලෝ researchers කරලා හොයාගන්න ඕන පුළුවන් තරම් ගිහිල්ලා බලලා හරි කරන්න ඕන. That is proactive marketing. Proactive banking. නැත්තම් වෙන්නේ ඔහේ stereotype bankers ලා වෙන්නේ stereotype bankers ලා අපිට වැඩක් නැහැ. අපිට ඕනේ proactive bankers ලා. Right? You can advise your customers what to do. Now, this is what I am doing, right? About 3-4 years back, I went there because I had some customers, right? I advised them. I wanted to tell them, why don't you start cultivating gherkins and vegetables? Because there's a very good market in the world for our gherkins, our vegetables, capsicum. වගේ ගොඩක් බඩ තියෙනවා අපිට යවන්න පුළුවන් ඇයි අපි යවන්නේ නැත්තේ right orange passion fruit ඒ වගේ දේවල් ඕන තරම් අපිට export කරන්න පුළුවන් but only problem we are having is the customer is having is customer doesn't know who are the buyers so EDB, when you tell EDB that you want to export to Germany and some Scandinavian countries, right? Some Scandinavian countries or to Italy, if you clearly mention the country, they will give you the list of names of the buyers. This list of names of the buyer registered with them. එතකොට නිකන් අර පාරයන මිනිහට නෙමෙයිනේ දෙන්නේ. recommended by EDB. එතකොට ඒගොල්ලෝ ගාව ලිස්ට් එක තියෙනවා. ඒගොල්ලන්ගෙන් ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ අරගෙන අපිට then we can start writing to those people and create an awareness, then to have a connection, and then start doing the exports gradually. Right? ඒක කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒක කරන්න පුළුවන් EDB එකේ. Not only that, I mean, EDB gives you the know-how, conducting training programs, seminars for specific products, markets. Right? That means, අපි තුම ගර්කින් කියලා. ගර්කින්. ඒතර තාපේ මාර ඩිමාන්ඩ් එකක් තියෙන එක්ස්පෝර්ට් එකක් තමයි අපි කරන්නේ. මේ සල්ලි නෑ කිය ඉන්නවා. Tomatoes. Cherry tomatoes, normal tomatoes, we can do it. And only thing is, when you are exporting, you have to export in such a way, the packing should be in such a way. A special boxes, දාලා ඒකට ගෑවෙන්නේ නැති වෙන්න. ඒ වගේ යවන්න ඕන. There's a small cost, but you can price your stuff. Those boxes are also available in EDB. They will tell you from where to get it. The manufacturers, right? And ඒ වගේ කොච්චර දේවල් තියෙනවද exporters කට ගන්න. බැංක් කරන්නේ නෑ. හරියට කරන්නේත් නෑ. exporters ඒවා දන්නේත් නෑ. That is why, as bankers, it is our duty to learn all these things and to promote these things with our customers. So when my customer is getting progress, one day bank is also going to get progress. He will never go to any other bank. But he will always tell, my bank is super. They are the people who are advising me. They are the people who are guiding me. So I don't want to join any other bank. I'll do my business with my bank. My bank in a සංකල්පෙම ඔලුවට customers ට දෙන්න ඕන. මේකට අපිත් මේව හොයන්න ඕන. ඔයලා customers ට කියන්න ඕන. Right? Then if you have any grievances, then they will sort it out. Right? Abbe man kiwe ekay in 2000 7 or 8 I paid a visit to EDB. It was horrible at that time. But since then, recently, the map, vast improvement. Harimana Asai, right? And when I went to look for some data on GSP and GSP plus items, they gave me before publishing the things to the general public, they gave me the entire soft copy. When I told them that I want to get the items, because I thought even GSP and GSP plus, even I thought, I was under the impression it is only for garments. No, there were 465 odd items where we can claim under GSP plus. Right? People doesn't know, bankers doesn't know, right? And we had to educate the people. ඒක මම කිව්වේ අපේ ඉන්නවා නේද අශෝක කියලා කෝටයක් මිනිස්ටර්ස්ලා ඉන්නවා පොල් වලට ඉන්නවා තල් වලට ඉන්නවා හකුරු වලට වෙනම ඉන්නවා මැටි වලට වෙනම ඉන්නවා පිත්තලයට වෙනමයි තබක් වලට වෙනමයි ඉන්නවනේ. බෙලෙක් වලට වෙනමයි. ඔක්කොම බෙලෙක් වගේ ඉන්නවා. මේ වගේ දේවල් කරන්නේ නැහැ. Then conducting training programs on import-export procedures. They do now. We do documentaries on exportable products, matters. Publication of periodicals like Expo News, Business Links, they do it. Right? Online access to international database. Inward buyer missions from overseas market. Sometimes they bring buyer missions from overseas market. Right? Then conducting group sales missions, trade fairs, buyer-seller meets, and contact programs in overseas. Trade fairs, good example. When we were there, these people may take may innocent guys, right? Batik වලට අරවට මේවට ඔක්කොම අරගෙන EDB එකකින් අරගෙන ට්‍රේඩ් ෆෙයාර් එකට එක්කන් යනවා. එක්කන් ගිහිල්ලා දානවා. දවස් දෙක තුනට පස්සේ මම හැමදාම වැඩ කරලා ඉවිල්ලා මේ එතන මම ගෙදර ඉඳන් කිලෝමීටරයක් විතර යනකොට මේ එක හම්බෙන්නේ. එතන අපි පාත් එකේ ජොගින් කරද්දී අනේ අර ගල්රුට් වෙලා බංකුට් වෙලා බටික් ෂර්ට් කාරයෝ ඉන්න තැන් වල අර අරංගේ මිනිස්සු ඒ මිනිස්සුන්ට කන්න නැහැ බොන්න නැහැ ඒ මිනිස්සු ඉංග්‍රීසි දන්නේ නැහැ එහෙන් කෑම එකක් අරගෙන කන්න තැනක් කොහොමද දන්නේ රයිට් ඔන්න වගේ තමයි අපි මේ කරන ට්‍රේඩ් ෆෙයාර්ස් වලට මිනිස්සු කියන්නේ දන්න මිනිහා දන්නවා රයිට් අනිත් මිනිස්සු දන්නේ නැහැ ඒ මිනිස්සුන්ට ආපහු බිස්නස් කරන්න බෑ facilitation for small producers, exporters, link-ups, market promotions. You can get some idea. What other benefits you can derive from EDB? A lot. And especially, they can easily the entrepot trade in Sri Lanka. People, you find that people from years, you come here, coordinate the other organization is Ceylon Chamber of Commerce. They are also like EDB, but throughout they were very consistent. They are not only limited to importers or exporters, they work hand in hand with banks also, right? They work hand in hand with bank also. They are the affiliated body for International Chamber of Commerce, ICC, International Chamber of Commerce. International Chamber of Commerce is an organization that issues UCP, URC, URR, URDG, and all those rules and regulations. And these people are the affiliated body for those teams. Right? Whenever a new UCP version is coming or new Incoterms version is coming, Chamber of Commerce are the people who will organize the seminars to educate the people in Sri Lanka. Importers, exporters, as well as the bankers. Right? And they are the people who will issue a certificate of origin. Chamber of Commerce, right? And also e-certificate of origin, ECO. Conduct of commodity auctions. These commodity auctions are conducted by the Chamber of Commerce. Under this COVID pandemic situation, I don't know how they are doing it, but earlier they used to do tea, rubber, spices, gems, allied products auctions. commercial dispute resolution service to bring amicable solutions to trade disputes through arbitration and conciliation and mediation services. Right? Organizing export exhibitions and export award schemes. Right? Export exhibitions. අපිට කරන්න පුළුවන්. අර ඉස්සලා කිව්වා නේද මොකද්ද මේ DR විජයතුල මම තියෙන්නේ එක්ස්පෝර්ට් සෙන්ටර් එකක් කියමු. අනේ ඒ වගේ තැන්වල හිටු ගමන් කරනවා. දැන් නම් කරන්න බෑනේ දැන් කොවිඩ්නේ. හිටු ගමන් කරනවා. නමුත් they are not, these people has to be more vibrant. Export and investment promotions through inbound and outbound missions. Operating a computerized information system. Okay, quality certificates, quality surveys for export, right? When they make a issuing letters of introduction to members traveling abroad on business. The business purpose of the if they are members of Chamber of Commerce, they issue to whom it may concern letter of introduction. The Biara, Mr. Perra is a well-known businessman in Sri Lanka, handling this one. Pretty introductory letter. When that guy goes abroad on business thing, and if he visits certain government organization, private organization, then he can submit that one. That gives a better value, right? Maintaining a computerized reference and lending library, exchanging information with chambers of commerce in other countries. That's another thing. I told you they are the branches of the other one, and entire world, all the chamber of commerces are linked together. So with they exchange information with chambers of commerce in other countries also. Right? Any questions? Any questions? Ken? So I have covered, I think, most of the ancillary areas. The capital thing. I can see. Vertical cover. Yes. Any questions? Or else, shall we have about another 40 minutes. At least we can do about 2 sums. What do you say? Karmude?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay. එහෙනම් අපි එදා අපි කොතෙන්ටද කළේ?
Question number 3 එක.
3 එක කළේ නෑනේ.
භාගය කළේ sir.
මේක භාගයද කරේ අපි ඊළඟ මේ 3 කළා දැන් මට ෂුවර් නෑ මම කරලා තිබ්බද කියලා. ඕකේ මේක නේද 3 එක අපි 3 එක කරමුද මම ලියලා තින්නේ දෙකක් ඉවර කළයි කියලා ඒක හරියට එතකොට නේ
Oh, sir.
I'm correct
Yes, sir.
right okay question number 3 Isaac මම කියන්නේ අද කවර් කරපුවාම මොන හරි questions තියෙනවද ඒ විශ්ලෙන් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට 8 marks 5 marks questions එන්න පුළුවන් ඒකෙන් ඉතින් exam pass වෙන්නත් පුළුවන් fail වෙන්නත් පුළුවන් ඒක දෙන්නේ අනිත් ඔයාලා හොඳටම දන්න එකකුත් එක කරනවා කරලා ඒකට you can't skip that one if you are doing it bits and pieces then you are going to miss these points right hinda etika padan karna issues tirana mata kiyana right can you read the question carefully and try to mark the can you jot down the what do you call this fixed period and option period හොඳට කියවන්න ඉස්සලා question එක කියවන්න හොඳට right our customer Perra Limited exporter buyer Smith PLC London right then amount and terms GBP 300,000 amount and terms GBP 300,000 side GP order to be dispatched in 2 shipments first shipment for GBP 200,000 to be made during 16th or 17th week second shipment for GBP 100,000 to be made during 20th or 21st week respectively from the date of contract. It takes further 2 weeks for the proceeds to be received. Right. Now, that is the export. Now, can you tell me what is the first export? First export. What's the amount? I need your answers louder. Then podium වගේ කෑ ගහන්න ඕන. දැන් කම්මැලිත් ඇතිනේ මගේ
GBP 200,000.
200,000 GBP.
GBP 200,000 during
4 months.
16th and 17th weeks plus
2 weeks.
2 weeks, then Total
18 to 19
18,
weeks.
18 or 19 weeks. Then how many?
4 months fixed, 1 month option.
4 months. 4 months fixed, 1 month option. Very good. Very good. Kenapati aganama automatic kiwa. What nama?
Rukshan.
Rikshan. Rikshan. Very good, Rikshan. Right? The second one, Vinekandi Ganapulande. Api Rikshan then hurry. But Rikshan can buy an Vinekani Kanaban. Rikshan cube with it. Amount should be
100,000 GBP.
very good. Then during
20th or 21st week.
21st
Up to
plus
weeks.
2.
2 weeks.
22,
6 months.
20,
23.
23. Without any common.
5 months fixed.
5 months. 6
Altogether 6 months, 6 months link,
1
5 months fixed and 1 month option.
month.
Yeah. All the others, do you have any issues, problems? Tell me, I will explain again. Otherwise, we can go forward. Right? Okay. In order to manufacture, now comes the import. In order to manufacture the import, in order to manufacture the shoes, Prera Limited will have to import raw materials to the value of GBP 200,000 from supplier Shong Limited in South Korea. Right? Payment for raw materials to be made under 30 days usance DC. 30 days usance DC. Available with issuing bank. Shipment will be made 2 weeks after the issuance of DC. Documents to be received in 2 weeks from the shipment. Can one of you give me the details for the import?
There are 2 months, 1 fixed and 1 option.
Shipment will be made 2 weeks after the issuance of DC, then 2 weeks plus 2 weeks plus can.
Another 2 weeks for receive the documents.
Very good. Then
And 30 days for usance DC. Altogether 2 months.
altogether 2 months. 8 weeks. 8 weeks is 2 months. If it is 2 months, what is that? One
Fixed and
1 month fixed, 1 month,
1 month
option.
1 month option.
For that. No issues for that. Right? Anything? Abhi gana karmo. 15th March 2011, Pera Limited entered into a sales contract with Smith PLC. Same day, entered into purchase contract with Shong Limited for supply of raw materials. Right? Import DC issued on the same day. All the shipments were made on the second shipment. The cancel. Right. On 20th August, cancel. Right? First export take Karanaban. First export take Karanaban. The make honey. මේ ටික හරිද? ඔක්කොගෙම මේක ඔක්කොගෙම හරිද? මට මම ආසම උත්තරේ ආවේ නැහැ.
Yes, sir.
හරි සර්.
Yes. Yeah. Then can you do the first export? Dollar LKR and then dollar sterling dollars and sterling LKR. Adhan baan. Finish first export. Dollar LKR. Is this answer is correct?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Then sterling dollar.
Correct, sir.
Correct. Right. දෙන්නේ තුන්දෙනා කතා කරන අනිත් අය 80 ගණක් ඉන්නවා. I don't know whether they have done it or not, but the result will talk. තේරුනේ නැත්තම් කියන්න ඕන. Okay.
It's correct.
The second export. Dollar की दावे.
$110.4.
110.4. Very good. GBP dollars.
1.606307.
1.6307. හරිද?
Okay.
correct.
Correct.
Correct. Right. Okay. Then this is correct, huh?
Yes, sir.
I missed one important thing because I thought you people have already done it. ඒකින්ද මං ඉතර ඒක ගියේ නෑ. ඔයගොල්ලෝ නම් කරන්න එපා ඒ වැරද්ද. මං කරපු වැරද්ද. What is that? කාටද කියන්න බලන්න. Before you start doing the sum, very, very important step I have missed it. කියන්න බලන්න. ඔයගොල්ලෝ කරන්න ඇති. නමුත් මට මිස් වෙනවා මට ඔයගොල්ලන්ට කියන්න මිස් වෙනවා. කියන්න බලන්න මොකද්ද මේ උනේ සර් මිස් කළේ කොහෙද කියලා.
Discounting
අන්න හරි. discounting the premium ද කියලා. අරක ලියලා තියාගන්න ඕනේ. මේක හරි. Very good. Then now comes the import. Import, are we taking the selling rate or buying rate?
Selling rate.
Selling rate.
Selling rate. What is the dollar LKR selling rate?
110.9.
110.9. Hasn't it? GBP US dollars?
1.646. 1.6469.
Okay. Okay. Then comes the cancellation. Cancellation, we'll go back to the question. Exchange, we started on 15th March and cancelled on 20th August. 20th August and 15th March. They were mute can. There you go. Mute can. No. Can I call you back? Mama, my lecture again. I just said again. I'll call you back. Right. So 15th March, 15th April, 15th May, 15th May, June, 15th July, 15th August. 15th August 5 months gilla. 20th August can
Option period.
option period. 6 months. Option period. If it is option period, then what are the rates you have to use? Spot
Selling price.
Spot selling price. What are the spot selling price? US dollar ATR 109.40.
0.4.
GBP US dollars 1.6420.
1.6420.
179.6348. නේ? මේක හොයන්න බලන්න ඔයගොල්ලෝ දැන් මේකත් මම දීලා තියෙනවා දැන් මේ ඩොලර් එකක් මෙච්චරයි කියලා. අනේ හොයන්න බලන්න එක හරි ලොස් එක. බලන්න මේකේ ලොස් එක හොයන්න බලන්න. කීයද මේ සෙකන්ඩ් එකනේ කැන්සල් කළේ? සෙකන්ඩ් එකේ අපි agreed මේ contracted rate එක කීයද? 180.0292. 180.0292. Right? වැඩි කළාම කීය දෙන්නේ? එහෙම නැත්නම් අපිට තව ලේසි වැඩක් තියෙනවා. මේ දෙකේ ඩිෆරන්ස් එක ගන්නවා 180.0292. එතකොට කීයද වැඩි කරලා බලන්න 100,000 pounds into 100,000 pounds. What's the rupee amount? 18,002,920. Okay? 18,002,920. Are you there? What I did was second export. What is the rupee value? Second export. What should be the rupee value? $100,000 sterling. Sterling 100,000 into wait 180,000 0292 again very gram 18,002,920. ඒක ආවද ඔයගලන්ට? තේරුන්නේ නැද්ද? ආවද තේරුන්නේ නැද්ද? දැන් බලන්න දැන් මේක එච්චර මේ ගානක් තමයි අපි දෙන්න හිටියේ. ඊට පස්සේ දැන් මේක කැන්සල් කළානේ. කැන්සල් කළේ කීයටද? 179,6348 into 100,000. 100,000. එතකොට ඒ කියන්නේ minus 17,963,480. What is the loss? We have cancelled. We have 39,440 rupees. So when we are cancelling the transaction, we have to pay 39,440. 39,440 as the cancellation fee. A loss to the bank, we collect it from the customer. Right? Okay.
So is it a loss or gain?
Loss එක ගන්න පුතේ. අපි රේට් එක අඩු වෙලා තියෙන්නේ නේ. රේට් එක අඩු වෙලා තියෙනවා. රේට් එක අඩු වුනහම දැන් මේක කැන්සල් වෙන්නේ අඩු ගානකට. අපි අතන අපි මේ කොහොමද මේ agreed rate එක දෙන්න 180. 180 වලින් වැඩි කළාම අපි කස්ටමර්ත් එක්ක අපි agree වෙලා හිටියේ 18 million. Now we are cancelling at 17 million. නෑ නේද?
Gain එකක් නෙවෙයි.
කස්ටමර්ට ගේන් එකක් තියෙනවා.
කස්ටමර්ට ගේන් එකක්. sorry කස්ටමර්ට ගේන් එකක් එනවා. දැන් කස්ටමර්ට ගේන් එකක් ආව නම් අපි මොකද්ද කියන්නේ? ඒ කියන්නේ කස්ටමර්ට ගේන් එකක් තියෙන්නේ. එතන මේක කස්ටමර්ට අපි 39,440 දීලා මේ ග්‍රාම කස්ටමර් කැමැත්තෙන් අරන් යනවා. ඒකද වෙන්නේ? You have to write, you can say it is a gain to the profit to the customer, but according to the central bank regulations, it ලියන්න ඕන. According to the central bank regulations, this gain will not be given to the customer. This gain will not be given to the customer. Customer ගෙන් එන්නේ පාඩුවක් වුණා customer ගෙන් ගහන එක විතරයි කරන්නේ අපි. Customer ගේ gain එක දෙන්නේ නැහැ. That's a central bank regulation. Under foreign exchange market එක. එහෙම නැත්නම් customers ලා මේ වගේ rates මේ වෙලා වුණාම cancel කර ඒකෙන්ම profit එකක් හොයයි. දැන් කොහමද just imagine if there was a forward contract we have booked at 230 and when the rates come down 201 we cancel it. We'll cancel it. එහෙම වුණා නම් පොඩි ගණනක් නෙමෙයිනේ. මේ චූටි ගණනක් නෑ. නමුත් මේ දශම ගණන්නේ අතන ලොකු ගණනක්. එනම් මිලියන් ගණන් කස්ටමර්ට ලාභයි. ඒක අපි එක දෙන්නේ නෑ. right. දැන් කරුම් බලන්න ඊගාව ගන්න පුළුවන් වේද අපිට? quickly යන්න බලන්න. Fernando Limited. Ina මම දීලා වන්සේ හදලා තියෙනම ඉතින් එහාට හදලා නැහැ මම හිතන්නේ. ඒකද මේක ටග් ගාලා කරන්න බෑ. Our customer Fernando, buyer John's PLC, amount and terms 500,000, DA terms payable 60 days from shipment date, order to be dispatched in 2 installments, first shipment 300,000, second shipment 200,000. It takes further 1 week for the proceeds to be received, right? In order to manufacture the ready-made garments, Fernando Limited will have to import raw materials to the value of 300,000 at 30 days from shipment date. Okay. Quickly, Karanabanda may first, Nevega. First export එක කොහමද දෙන්නේ? First export එක කොහමද දෙන්නේ? GBP 300,000. Can 10th or 11th week.
Plus
8 weeks.
plus 1 week.
10th or 11th week plus 1 week.
19 to 20.
11.
එතන කීයද?
19 to 20 weeks.
19 to 20 weeks.
19 to 20 weeks.
DA terms payable 60 days from shipment date. Import conditions.
DA terms payable 60 days from shipment date. 60 days from shipment date කියන්නේ එතකොට
So there is a DA term payable 60 days from
8 weeks.
So it's 8 weeks, 4 months, 6 and 1 month option.
එතකොට
altogether 24 months. So weeks.
disturb වෙනවා. Okay, මේක එන්නේ 10 and 11 weeks, right? Plus 8 weeks plus 1 week. එතකොට එන්නේ 19th to 20th weeks 4-month fixed, 1-month option. එක හරිද?
හරි සර්.
මේක හරිද?
හරි.
හරි.
ඒක හරි. Second export එක කොහමද ආවේ? 14 to 15 weeks.
GBP.
8 weeks යනවා. තව 1 week යනවා. එතකොට 23, 24 weeks. 5 months fixed, 1 month option. Correct? Okay. Then first export. Import again. EBP 300,000. Yeah. 3 weeks plus 4 weeks, 7 weeks. 7 weeks can 1 month fixed, 1 month option.
හරි සර්.
එකත් හරිද? එකත් හරි. Right? Okay. දැන් එහෙනම් බලමු අපි මේකේ rates ටික. Dollar LKR at premium or discount? Premium. Then GBP dollars. GBP dollars all months.
Discount.
All months discount. All months discount. Right? Okay, fine. Then බලමු first export එක 4 months fixed, 1 month. Or 4
Discount.
months fixed, 1 month option. US dollar LKR 113.80, 140, 115.20. ආවද උත්තරය ඔයගලන්ට? කරපු කට්ටියට උත්තරය ආවා. Second one, GBP US dollars. මේ උත්තරය ආවද? ඒකත් ආවා. Therefore, GBP LKR is 175.2768. Right? Second export, 5 months, 1 month up. Product maker and ලියුට් කරන්න කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා. ඊට පස්සේ ටීම් එකක්ද කොහෙද යනවා? Right. US dollar LKR 113.80. එක හරි. Then GBP dollars මේ උත්තරය ආවද? Right. Then 175.6178. Right. Then the import dollar LKR 115.70 is a premium. Therefore, we add GBP US dollars. Then ඔයගලන්ට මේ GBP US dollars වල මේ අර 0013 එක sure. දැන් කොහොම හරි දෙන හැමතිස්සෙම ඒ පොයින්ට් ගාන 100ෙන් බෙදලාම ගන්න ඕන. එතකොට ඒනේ ගන්න ඕන. ඒක අමතක කරන්න එපා. Then GBP 77.80. Right? Cancellation again, 10th August and 20th December. 10th August, 10th August, September, October, November, December. 10th December වලට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. 10th December වලට 4 months. එතකොට 20th December කියන්නේ falls into which month? Falls into fifth month. Right? Falls into fifth period. Fifth month කියන්නේ
Fix.
not the
Fifth
sorry,
month fix.
option the fixed. Huh?
Fixed period.
Fixed period. 6 month fixed. Five months fixed.
Fix.
5 months fixed. 1 month option. And a mega falls into fixed period. Ne? Then we'll have to do a adjustment. We'll have to do adjustment. we'll have to do adjustment, right? That means dollar LKR spot rate is 115.10. Dollar LKR spot rate 115.10. And we have to adjust 1 month forward, 1 month forward, 1 month forward, right? There are 0.60 add karna, 115.70, because we had to give the best rate to the bank, the most profitable rate to the bank. Then GBP US dollars, that also the spot rate is 1.5420, and it is a discount. If it is a discount, then if we adjust the 1 month, then it will be much lesser. It will be much lesser than the spot. So then we select the best rate, the most profitable rate to the bank, that is spot rate, spot selling rate. 178, 40, 94. Okay? Right. I think we managed to do 2 sums. Now we check the sums up there. 6, 7.
3 questions.
Only
Questions.
only 2 more, eh? 2 more okay. ඒ දෙකත් කරගන්න.
3 questions.
ඒ දෙකත් කරගෙන එන්න අපි අනිත් දවසේ එකක් කරමු. Right? Okay. Thank you very much.